Every day, the world produces noise, but only a few moments produce meaning. Information is everywhere. Understanding is rare. Because facts alone do not enlighten, context does, analysis does, perspective does. Welcome to Aneke TV, where news is not merely reported, it is examined. Where conversations are not merely held, they are elevated. Where stories are not merely told, they are understood. In governance, in business, in society, in the global arena, clarity is power, discernment is advantage, awareness is responsibility. This is broadcasting with purpose, journalism with depth, programming with intellect. Nigeria, the world, we are live. Aneke TV, broadcasting daily, informing minds, shaping perspective.
There are two types of kola nut produced in Nigeria: kola nitida, otherwise called gworo, and widely eaten in northern part of Nigeria. Kola acuminata, also referred to as Igbo kola, is of local origin and occupies an important position in social, religious, and sacred ceremonies in Igbo society. It is seen as a vital and sacred fruit in Igbo land and serves as the major instrument of prayers connecting the ancestors. It cements discussions and also the fundamental bedrock of philosophy and proverbs. It is a symbol of welcome, unity, and peace. If kola nut contains one cotyledon, it is regarded as dump kola nut and thrown away. Kola nut with 4 cotyledons represents the 4 Igbo market days: Eke, Orie, Afo, and Nkwo. If kola nut contains more than 6 cotyledons, it signifies blessings and wealth, and it is celebrated. There is also another type of Igbo kola nut called Ojugo, which is referred to as the king of Igbo kola. The reproductive organ of the kola nut is referred to as the tongue, and it is removed after prayers and thrown to the spirit of the ancestors.
Ndụ a na-atọka onye anabara nke ya na ụlọ agwọ ibe anyị adị nọ ogologo ndụ arụ ike na ọdụmma ihe eji ene ndụ anya na onye nwere ihe eji ene ndụ anya na ịrụfụta nwere ya ịmara na nsogbu rere ya olise bụ anyị na-ekene gị Chukwu okike onye ogologo ndụ na ogologo anya na-agụ ndụ na ọchịchị anyị na-ekene na-ekene maka tata na-ayọ maka echi maka na ọsọ maka ebe echi anya mara na anyị adị ka echi na echi anaghị agwụ agwụgwụ na ihe ya adịrị anyị mma ndị be anya onwekwara ihe ọzọ na anyị enye ndị ichie jupụtara anyị na-ere nke
Aneke television. How I get one of the father and I am what you go how Mbo Wabian here, Bube, Mbo, what I want here, Bube, Aneke television on the mellow way, Mela Madia, in our uncle, in America, Putemwa, in our Pozu, in our uncle, the one Aneke television, the Arcades, your man, the one Aneke television, you do man, help the mellow way, Mela Madia, who me, Bodia, Nanka, Bunkai, you might have a girl, if you want to come over soon. You better have you what I look
Across Nigeria's dynamic economy, enterprise is on the move. From the resilience of small businesses to the expanding reach of indigenous industries, commerce thrives on innovation, determination, and vision. Finance is evolving, powered by technology and driven by a new generation of entrepreneurs. In a rapidly changing world, digital transformation is redefining how we save, invest, and grow wealth. From energy to agriculture, manufacturing to tech, Nigeria's economic landscape continues to diversify. Policies shift, markets respond, and opportunities emerge. Every figure tells a story. Every trend shapes the future. The question is, where is the next opportunity? On Aneke TV, we bring you clarity beyond the numbers. This is Business Outlook on Aneke TV, tracking the markets, analyzing the trends, and spotlighting the drivers of economic growth. Aneke TV, informing enterprise, shaping perspective.
From the trade floors of Lagos to the commodity hubs of Enugu, we say thank you for joining us and welcome to Aneke TV business segment, coming to you live from our studio here in Enugu. We bring you comprehensive coverage of the financial landscape, from performance metrics on Nigerian exchange and foreign exchange liquidity at the official window to shifting staple commodity prices across key regional hubs and international market trends. Stay tuned as we break down the figures, analyze the drivers, and outline strategic takeaways for your portfolio. And this is the Business Desk, where data meets destiny and your weight finds its voice. I am Uche Osai. Let's make your money move with the world. Starting with the Nigerian exchange, which ended yesterday's trading session on a bearish note. The Asia index dropped by 949.71 points, settling at 243,017.38 points. Equity market capitalization contracted by 613.08 billion naira, closing at 156.88 trillion naira. Market sentiment remained firmly in negative territory, with market breadth showing 16 gainers against 47 decliners. Overall activity was mixed. Total volume traded stood at 588.13 million shares across 41,389 deals, with total turnover valued at 21.46 billion naira. Now quickly taking a look at the top 5 gainers for yesterday, starting with the International Energy Insurance. International Energy Insurance advanced a bullish 10% adjustment to close at 4 naira 84 kobo per share, followed by John Holt PLC, which gained 9.89 bullish adjustment to finish at 10 naira per share. Transnationwide Express PLC yesterday closed the trading book at 2 naira 59 kobo, making a bullish adjustment of 9.75%. Sunu Assurance Nigeria PLC equally closed in the positive ring at 3 naira 58 kobo, making a bullish positive adjustment of 8.48%. NEM Insurance PLC, another insurance stock equally in the positive, closed at 34 naira to make a positive adjustment, closing at 6.25%. Now quickly moving on to take a look at the laggards for yesterday, where Unilever Nigeria PLC led the decliners, tumbling 9.97% to close at 118 naira 30 kobo per share. Chema Arms PLC dropped equally below, making a dip of 9.66 negative adjustment to close at 10 naira 75 kobo per share. Nigeria Infrastructure Debt Fund shared 9.55%, settling at 147 naira 70 kobo per share. Dark Communication PLC equally closed yesterday's trading at 1 naira 57 kobo, making a dip of a negative adjustment of 9.25%. Cornerstone Insurance, equally in the dip, made a bearish adjustment of 9.09% to close at 5 naira yesterday. Now quickly moving on to look at VFD Group PLC, which drove trading activities by volume, pushing 151.83 million shares. And then we'll look at First Holding Corporation PLC, which topped the value charts, accounting for approximately 3.90 billion naira in total traded turnover. Now quickly taking a look at our market projection. Yes, ahead of today's trading session, market analysts project continued cautious trading and sector-specific rotation, while profit-taking may persist in select consumer goods and mid-cap stocks. Selective bargain hunting is anticipated across fundamentally sound Tier 1 banking equities and undervalued stocks. And now moving on to the Naira performance yesterday, where we'll take a look at the forex market, where the local currency maintained a relatively stable stance against the US dollar across key market segments, supported by steady liquidity intervention and moderate demand pressure. At the official Nigerian foreign exchange market, the Naira held firm, closing around 1,360 Naira to 1,367 Naira against the US dollar. And now at the spot market closing rate, it settled at approximately 1,360 naira 58 kobo against the US dollar. Day-on-day performance is up by 0.28%, showing mild appreciation compared to previous clearing levels. And that quickly takes us to the black market, or the street market, or we officially term the parallel market, depending on what you're comfortable with. Yes, in the unofficial parallel market, street trading in major commercial hubs like Lagos and Abuja saw the greenback trading within a tight band. Buying rate stood at 1,410 naira per dollar, while selling rate is at 1,425 naira per US dollar. The gap between the official and the parallel market stands at roughly 50 to 58 naira, reflecting a controlled premium and low volatility. And quickly taking a look at our market projection today. Foreign exchange liquidity is expected to remain supported by central bank intervention, diaspora remittances, and steady foreign portfolio inflows. Analysts project the Naira to trade within a range of 1,360 Naira to 1,375 Naira. Yes, 1,375 Naira at the official window, while the parallel market rates are anticipated to remain range-bound near 1,415 to 1,430 Naira against the US dollar. And then quickly we'll take a look at the global crude oil benchmark, where the global crude benchmark Brent crude experienced a retreat during the yesterday's trading session, snapping recent upward momentum as demand concerns re-emerged. Brent crude futures fell by $1.29 or 1.45% to settle at $87.69 per barrel. During the intraday, we saw prices fluctuate within a daily corridor of $85.87 at the low to $89.06 per barrel at the high section. And U.S. West Texas Intermediate (WTI) followed a matching trajectory, dropping 1.60% to close $81.97 per barrel. Now, looking at the key market drivers, one is the demand forecast revision. Yes, where, the pullback was largely triggered by analysts scaling back global oil demand growth for second half of the year supply. Another factor is the supply constraint floor, where broader price downside remained capped due to ongoing OPEC Plus output discipline and geopolitical tensions surrounding key transit choke points. Now quickly to our market projection. Traders anticipate Brent crude to trade within a consolidated band between $86.50 and $89.50 per barrel. Market participation today will be monitoring global inventory drawdowns, macroeconomic sentiment out of major consuming economies, and updates on Middle East logistical supply risk. And quickly moving on to the Nigeria commodities market, where the domestic commodities market closed with mixed signals yesterday as regional supply transport dynamics continue to create notable price differentials across key commercial centers. While grain and tubers showed relative stability in northern assembly markets, elevated diesel logistic costs continue to dictate retail pricing premiums in southern and central urban hubs. Now quickly moving to the Lagos. Yes, we were taking a look at the Lagos market hub, where in Lagos commercial markets such as My 12 and K2 saw high transport overheads from inland supply routes continue to keep retail prices elevated. And then taking a look at the 50 kg bag of local rice, which traded between 50,000 and 55,000 naira, while foreign long grain rice averaged 68,000 to 82,000 naira per bag. Gari, the yellow and white gari per paint bucket held steady at 1,100 naira to 1,300 naira. And beans and vegetables, a 100 kg bag of brown beans averaged 85,000 to 115,000 naira, while a fresh basket of fresh tomatoes traded between 28,000 and 45,000 naira. That takes us to the Abuja market hub in the Federal Capital Territory. Proximity to northern grain belts helped buffer some bulk commodity costs, though retail distribution markups remained present. Rice, local parboiled 50 kg bag closed between 52 and 58,000 naira, while imported brands averaged 65,000 to 80,000 naira. Gari retailed between 1,200 naira and 1,400 naira per paint bucket equivalent. Grains and tubers. We take a look. Maize, which traded around 37,000 naira per 50 kg bag, with brown beans averaging 80,000 naira to 105,000 naira per 100 kg sack. And moving over to Southeast, the Enugu market hub. In Enugu and surrounding southeastern centers, high regional demand for processed cassava and imported grains maintained firm pricing levels. Gari, white gari per 1 kg averaged 940 naira to 1,100 naira, recording one of the higher regional figures due to strong local consumption demand. Rice, the local Abakaliki rice 50 kg bag provided a competitive regional alternative at 38,000 to 55,000 naira, whereas imported 50 kg bags ranged between 65,000 naira and 82,000 naira. Beans and tomatoes, the brown beans hovered between 85,000 and 110,000 per 100 kilogram. Tomatoes traded at a regional average near 1,380 naira per kilogram. And now quickly to our market outlook. Interstate transport tariffs remain the primary cost driver, separating farm gate prices from urban retail rates. Commodities traders expect modest price stabilization in grains over the coming sections as local harvest arrivals hit regional assembly markets, though seasonal demand will keep processing staples like gari, palm oil range-bound across southern terminals. And quickly, that takes us to the international market scene. We are starting from Wall Street, where U.S. equities rallied strongly during yesterday's session, with major benchmarks surging towards new record highs. Risk appetite was boosted by softer than expected wholesale inflation data, which eased treasury yields and fueled investor optimism that the Federal Reserve may hold interest rates steady. S&P 500 advanced 0.73% to trade near 7,000 805.02 points, setting new intraday record highs. And Nasdaq Composite outperformed, climbing 0.92% to close at 26,832.54 points, propelled by a broad surge in tech and semiconductor equities. Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 190.02 points, or 0.36 points, closing around 53,960.29 points. Quickly moving on to Europe, where European equity markets presented mixed picture as of yesterday. Continental pauses tracked positive global sentiment following U.S. inflation relief, while London's blue chip index underperformed due to heavyweight going dividend and declines in the mining sector. Starting with UK FTSE 100, which slipped 0.20% to close at 10,809.95 points, despite second quarter gross domestic product figures matching expectations. And in Germany, DAX 40 rose by 0.40% to 0.50% in Frankfurt, leading regional gains on cooling interest rate concerns. And in France, CAC 40 ticked up 0.20% in Paris to end the section in positive territory. And moving on to Asian markets, Asian trading closed with a split dynamic across northern and regional hubs. Strong demand for chip makers and technology giants drove robust gains in Tokyo and Seoul, while mainland Chinese indices faced modest headwinds from profit taking. And in Japan, Nikkei 225 rallied 1.16% to close at 68,308.59 points. South Korea Kospi surged 3.21%, gaining 210.97 points to finish at 6,790.01 points, driven by heavy buying in technology heavyweights. And in China, Shanghai Composite edged down by 0.50%, closing at 3,926.96 points. And in Hong Kong, Hang Seng dipped slightly by 0.17%, settling at 25,396.51 points. And quickly before we go, here is our market advice, especially for our Nigerian investors. On equities, we urge selective bargain hunting. Avoid panic selling. Use short-term dips to pick up fundamentally sound tier 1 banks and high dividend stocks. And then on fixed income, we urge you to lock in yields. Take advantage of elevated treasury bill rates to secure stable returns and maintain cash flexibility. And on forex and portfolio defense, we urge you to manage inflation risk. Hold export-focused stocks or dollar-backed assets to hedge against currency swings. The bottom line here is to keep cash ready for deep pullbacks, lock in high fixed income yields, and focus on long-term value over daily noise. Filter the rumor. Don't let the rumors push you into the market. And that's our time. But here is a quick reminder before you trade. While we give you the data, we don't give you the final directives. Always consult a certified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. We urge you to stay sharp, manage your entry points closely, and let the numbers guide your entry through today's opening bell. And keep watching the Aneke TV market update to stay ahead. I am Uche Osai. Invest wisely.
Across Nigeria's dynamic economy, enterprise is on the move. From the resilience of small businesses to the expanding reach of indigenous industries, commerce thrives on innovation, determination, and vision. Finance is evolving, powered by technology and driven by a new generation of entrepreneurs. In a rapidly changing world, digital transformation is redefining how we save, invest, and grow wealth. From energy to agriculture, manufacturing to tech. Nigeria's economic landscape continues to diversify. Policies shift, markets respond, and opportunities emerge. Every figure tells a story. Every trend shapes the future. The question is, where is the next opportunity? On Aneke TV, we bring you clarity beyond the numbers. This is Business Outlook on Aneke TV, tracking the markets, analyzing the trends, and spotlighting the drivers of economic growth. Aneke TV, informing enterprise, shaping perspective. It's a beautiful morning. It's a good Friday morning. Welcome to Aneke TV Sports, where we bring you the latest in the world of sports. I am Good Hope Chukwuma, the Sports Oracle. Today promises to be interesting while we unravel the mysteries and the questions, and also the transfers, how it has been happening, how nations are taking shape to face each other in competitions that is coming. And you know that here we live sports, we dream sports, and we dream sports.
All right, good morning to our viewers. I am worldwide saying good morning once again. Hope your night was okay, and of course it's a lovely Friday morning right here on Aneke TV, on your favorite program, Aneke Sports. And for me, it's a painful Friday because we missed out on the little opportunity, just the last opportunity that the female side, talking about the Super Falcons, had to qualify for the World Cup. I can basically tell you that we have missed out on that opportunity where we lost one against South Africa, and it's a painful. I feel like crying. I'm just trying to hold my emotions.
Well, I'm trying to find my handkerchief so I can give you, so you can what are tears?
I am really pained.
Well,
2026 we not watch the men's World Cup. I mean, we not watch our own country playing football. Over there in Mexico, USA, Canada. Now 2027. Brazil will not be watching the female side play, and it's really painful. It all boils down to what is really going on with our own, not just the players. It's not this time around. It's not particularly the blame is not just, you're not going to put it on the players who did not qualify. It's on the body governing the players.
Well,
that's basically the blame, and I'm really pained. I just want to try and cheer up after you have promised me that you are going to take me out, at the end of the program.
I said if they actually win, then I'm going to take you out.
It does not matter. It does not matter. Taking somebody out should not be pinned to some terms and conditions.
Yeah,
not qualified.
We're going to go to Fun Sports Extra, but then before we go there, I want to ask you, looking at how Nigeria has played so far, I mean, the conditions that has really amounted to us coming out of that World Cup. Not qualifying for the World Cup, and this could be the first time in 1990s that we actually have not qualified for World Cup. Does it really tell a lot about the governing body, or does it tell on the players? Because we need to be very sincere here.
Just like you have said, the question is clear. There's a lot on the governing body. When last did we not qualify for the World Cup? Talking about the female side, I don't even want to go to the men's category where we will not play. Not just this 2026, we not play 2022. So now coming to the female body who have always been constant in the World Cup. Just imagine what has happened over, let's say, 4 to 5 years concerning the governing body, concerning NFL. These things, you can't take it out. It's going to affect. You don't just go to the pitch and play ball. Somebody is in charge of your salary. Somebody is in charge of your well-being. And when these things are not coming, you will not be in that high spirit. That good morale to play that ball. It's like you're working for somebody and you're not getting your own salary at the end of the month. So you'll not be spirited to play the football. So that's what is basically happening to the Nigerian female team right now. When they entered into the competition that's talking about the WAFCON, they were not in that high spirit. Now later, after the first loss, the promises or some of the promises were fulfilled. Now they were out of the WAFCON, coming in again. That we lost that golden opportunity where we went out of the quarterfinal. I wish we just scaled through from that quarterfinal to the semi-final. Maybe we'll not be talking about this story, even though we not win the cup, just got to the semi-final and we exited the competition. We will not be here talking this discussion that we will not qualify for the World Cup. Now the just slim opportunity
for us to qualify for West.
It goes down to the root. We are not going to be solving it from the branch.
Yeah, of
course. It goes
down
to the root. What is happening? Let there be changes so that this thing will not occur next time. It's really sad, When I saw the scoreline yesterday,
it was not good. It was not really good. Now let's just take a look at the Punch, Sports Extra, where we are having the headlines and the rest of them coming to us today. And just so there's a lot of controversy that we are already seeing from here. But let's just take a look at disaster Bayana and Falcons' 35-year World Cup journey.
Imagine, for going for the World Cup. We have been there consecutively, and now Bayana, that's the South African side. The men's side are Bafana, the women's side are Bayana. Bayana has end us out of the. And see, I'm just trying to just give myself some, some lift, and just get back to the regular way that I used to be, just to be happy.
Yeah, we're seeing Joshua Fury fight hit stumbling block. Joshua Fury fight hit stumbling block. Then we go over to PSG seal Ferran Torres deal. PSG seal Ferran Torres deal.
I kind of see this as a good news for PSG, but bad news for Barca, because now they have taken away their striker.
But they sold their striker.
They sold their striker. That's Lewandowski now.
It's not about taking away your striker.
And you have not. Barca are not. For now, I'm not. The league is starting this weekend. La Liga is starting this weekend. Probably transfer window will still be until September 1st. What are you seeing any prospect of Barca getting somebody for that attack?
I'm not sure Barca is going to get anybody.
Rodri that they are going for, the recent bid has been rejected.
They're going to go with the.
So who are you not going to put in front?
With Okorobi.
Who's Okorobi?
Okorobi is a striker.
Playing for Barca.
He played for Barca. There's one guy earlier in the year we used to know, Elekobi. They'll get Elekobi.
The situation in Barca, anyway, we still have like 2 weeks.
There's really time for that. So we're going to see. But let's take a look at Arsenal open Osimhen talks as Galatasaray reject Al Hilal offer.
Okay, I will be happy. Despite any, I will be happy that Osimhen comes to England. I just want to see him. If I'm going to be watching you every weekend in the Champions League, I'm happy to see our own in the English Premier League. And of course, Arsenal is a good side, in terms of Premier League. They're good. You can see that they are a forbidden side right now, the defending champions, and they have the quality. So adding Osimhen,
adding Osimhen will be amazing. Then we have Lookman get Atletico number 11's jersey. It's just so special for Lookman to get that iconic number 11 jersey. And Lookman, even though he has not really, I would say, not proven his worth to Atletico Madrid, he has shown that quality and class.
Yeah, when he came last season, he did his best.
Yeah, he
that
did.
Few first 5 matches, he
was good. Lookman is one of the best export that Nigerians could be proud of wherever we are in the world of football. We are so proud of this guy. We are so proud of Ademola Lookman, and he really made history. Then we have Al Ittihad Besiktas set to begin the talks. They should have been in Manchester United by now. If these guys came for World Cup, I mean, their bid would have
just been the World Cup that of course, Manchester, they had interest. We saw that period where it was speculated that he was going to be, but at the end of the day, he didn't come. So now, Besiktas, Besiktas is still quite a good team, so there's no problem with that.
Yeah, he's actually, in Besiktas. Then he's Al Ittihad. That's Karim Benzema. Yes, Karim Benzema's side.
I don't want anybody to be. In fact, I'm talking about Besiktas. You don't want to transfer to Saudi Arabia.
Actually, it's money. It's more money.
It's more money. This love of money that at the end of the day,
it's no love of money.
These people are already, like say, in their prime. They're already living football. Indeed, he has done everything that he could do for football. Anyway, he should go to
the Super Eagles captain. Are you saying that he has done everything he
has done almost?
Because me, I'm not saying he has done
probably next World Cup he will not be seen in DD Probably next 2030 World Cup, you might not be seeing it.
Wow.
Now will hardly come back to the Premier League since this time around it's not coming.
Will you be seeing him from Leicester?
Leicester, that was somebody that plays for Leicester.
And we have a shocking news about Leicester. We're going to bring that later. But we have Awoni linked with Rizespor.
You see the problem. You see
what's
going on from Nottingham Forest. Now you are wanting to go to the Turkish side. Rizespor. How am I going to be viewing Awoni right now? Despite he didn't feature much in Nottingham, but that little time that we are seeing him, we are happy. When he scores, he pulls off his jersey. You see that inscription, something like "I love Jesus" or "Jesus is the way." You know that this is our own. Preaching the word, to the people, even as he's playing football. Now you are taking him to Rizespor. How am I going to not see him? Because you might not have that viewership. Are you going to be where are you going to watch that Rizespor match?
This may not work, cause
I hope it
doesn't work. But well, I hope it works for him. Wherever works. Okay, you don't want it to work for him. You want
to stay at Nottingham Forest. He should be moving from Nottingham Forest to maybe, Chelsea or Manchester United or Arsenal. Not Nottingham Forest to rise those for. If he wants to go to La Liga, he should go to La Liga. If he's going to Atletico Madrid, that's having saga with Alvarez, he should go there. Or he's going to somewhere that is visible, even though not Atletico Madrid, maybe get to Sevilla. I will even be happy. Maybe
be a second striker.
Be a second option for. Once he goes to Bayern Munich like this, I will go and buy all Bayern Munich jersey, home, neutral, away.
Well, one of my plans for this coming Premier League season is to buy every Nigerian jersey player. I'll buy.
You start from
the Super Eagles. I'll buy from the Super Eagles every one of them. I will have like
all the jerseys.
All the jerseys. Then I'll buy clubs home and away. Then I'll buy clubs home and away for every of these our top guys in the Super Eagles.
And
also I'll buy Awoni. I'll buy Victor Boniface, Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman. Frank Onyeka, Frank Onyedika. Yes, Wilfred Ndidi. I'll buy a lot of it.
You just line it up on the wall.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's just you know why I'm doing that is because I really want to let these guys know that there's something at home.
People are supporting them.
There's something really at home.
They should stop going to second league or third league. That we are not going to. You're going to tell them that also.
It's actually money. It's actually money.
Despite the money, you should be visible too. When you are making the money, let's be seeing you, right? We love to watch our own play, but when you are going to a league that is going to be difficult to see you, imagine where somebody playing at a Buzaspor. How do you watch Buzaspor? You have to go and look for a link or a channel to click and try and watch some part of the match, because probably you will not even get the full match. So it's difficult. You don't see these things often. So let them come where it's visible. At least Galatasaray is visible to some extent. If you are playing for Fenerbahce or even Trabzonspor, Rizospor, Buzaspor. I don't know.
All right, let's take a look at PSG Torres deal. And just by the side, we have Joshua Fury fight. Heat stumbling block. Anthony Joshua's fight with Tyson Fury has hit stumbling block.
What's the stumbling block?
The stumbling block is simply that they would not be able to, have the fight because of some rights.
Some rights, so TV rights, is it broadcasting or what?
No. First of all, venue is already set. Second of all, time is already set. But then the problem is the same problem that has been there for many weeks now. Okay. Problem of rights, sponsorship, I would say generally. Sponsorship and who gets who, what gets what. So that's really just the problem that Anthony Joshua is going to have. And like he was said earlier, this fight may not come in 2026. It may now be in 2027, then our own will now be 2028.
Which our own?
Yes.
You don't want us to fight this weekend? No. It's already Friday.
No, let's go over to the next story. Napoli turned to yeses after Lukaku's exit. Napoli is coming for Gabriel Jesus for a fee that they have disclosed to Arsenal. But looking at Gabriel Jesus, he is so fit for Napoli, even though he has not been so clinical.
He has not featured so much for Arsenal, but
for Arsenal due to injury, not because he said he's not featuring. It's just because of
that's
injury.
More like the summary of Gabriel Jesus' career. Even at Manchester City, you saw him like a second option striker who gets to play.
He never became a first.
He never became that first option.
Someone you can always bring in, just like Kun Aguero.
Aguero was there, so how can Gabriel Jesus be the first?
That's one thing people need to know in this. But let's just take a look at Jackson ready to snub Villa. Jackson ready to snub Aston Villa. Jackson, how are you getting ready to snub Aston Villa?
You want to snub Aston Villa? Anyway, he wants to prove, that he's quite that person that wants to play for Chelsea. He does not. I don't think he wants to go to Aston Villa this time around. Aston Villa has already taken a lot. They took Garnacho of recent from Chelsea. Now you still want to take Jackson. Jackson wants to play for Chelsea. He wants to prove that he is the number. And after all, how many strikers? They have João Pedro. So I believe maybe before the transfer window closes, they might sell the lap. So they still have João Pedro. They have Welbeck. So Jackson being there is going to be, it's going to be quite all right for Chelsea. But the one that I'm not sure is going to still be there till this season starts is Delap. I know Chelsea are in the market, or his agents are in the market wanting to sell him. So Jackson should be in Chelsea this season. Then still talking about the Punch Sport Extra, we have down there we have cricket, Nigeria C World Cup qualifiers. You see, we are doing exploits in other parts of the world of sport. Just yesterday we saw the basketball team, the Tigress, who won their own match. Then now we're having in cricket Nigeria C World Cup qualifiers. I don't know, the football is just the disappointing part of it. Then of course, Dolphins set for WRPI title. Then by the side you have fencing boss Samuel wins silver for Nigeria. Then of course Mourinho wants Madrid. That's the manager of Real Madrid right now, talking about Jose Mourinho. I wouldn't know what he's warning Madrid stars for right now, but we are not particular. This news, I wish we had the full update. Then we will know the stars that he's trying to warn, because there are a lot of stars in Real Madrid right now. So I don't know which of the stars Jose Mourinho is warning. So moving forward, let's just start from where we are going to. Should we start from transfers, because these transfers, they are quite. Yeah, there are a lot of transfers.
Let's start with transfers, and then let's just go right there into. But I would want us to start with the women, because it's obvious that there's something following Nigeria.
Are you going spiritual?
No, I'm not going spiritual. I'm going by some lack of.
What's following Nigeria?
Lack of precipitation. Something that we can understand together.
Our reputation is being
in the world of football, and it's affecting a lot of things right now. So, I mean, how did you see that game yesterday? That South Africa.
You want to bring back the sad.
Let me bring back the sad.
That sad evening yesterday was very sad. That I just had to force myself to close my eyes. Let me just sleep, and hoping that joy will come in the morning, just like it said.
And joy is here. Joy is in the morning.
I'm still looking for joy. If I see joy outside, I will just grab the person, if it's a boy or a girl, but I'll grab the joy. But the match I was highly disappointed. First half, we are 1-0. Second half, they scored 2 goals first before they eventually got a red card that Nigeria now had to convert a penalty. We have played a lot of penalty these days, talking about the women. Even at the WAFCON, we played more than 3, because when we trashed Egypt 5-2, we played 2 penalties in that match. Was it 5-2 or 6-2? We had played 1 earlier, in the match against Malawi, and this time around, it's hard to be a penalty that we had to score the only goal that we scored there. And I don't know, is it that we could not break the South African defense throughout? These people had to score us 1, then score 2. Before they now got a red card that Nigeria was now awarded the penalty, and we scored, in the diamond. That was in the match was almost concluded when we virtually scored that goal, like a consolidation goal. And before that time, I was already in my own pain, wallowing, because how can we come back from 2-0 down at the tail of the match to 2-2? Because if we eventually get a draw, then we now have to proceed to extra time and possibly penalties. So it was a painful one. The girls, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Like you have said, I don't know what's following us. We were not just converting the chances. We were just missing out. When you get to the front of the post, you are not converting the ball. The ball does not end up in the back of the net. South Africa already did their own conversion. They are already 2 goals up. So what's the next thing? You try to attack, you are not getting the goal. So it's really sad. I don't know. It's sad for me, and I can't tell you how I'm feeling deep down right now. I'm pained already, because I was hoping, okay, 2027 we easy to consolidate for 2026, that we not watch our men playing the World Cup. Now the 2027 is going to come. Eventually it's going to come. I know we are still in 2026, but you're already with that knowledge, with that awareness that you're not going to be watching your own country again playing for the World Cup. We will start seeing the screen of other people. We are going to be watching other countries play, and this South Africa now at the end of the day qualify, where we'll now be having to say that we could have been the one in their own shoes. When Democratic Republic of Congo we are playing the World Cup, we are saying we could have been the one here, because those were the people that knocked us out. Now we are going to be saying we could have been the one here, that where South Africa, and the bans, don't forget that this South African side, they know how to ban Nigeria. They will ban us. The banting will just be, so these things will affect you both emotionally, psychologically, and physically. Now the viewership that you are supposed to be seeing, at the end of the day, it will even affect the people that are going to, that are supposed to be, where you are going to go and view this match, the entertainment, the people that are going to be selling jerseys. Are you going to go out there now and start buying Nigeria jersey for 2027? Because there is no jersey. we are not going to produce any kits to sell.
Yeah, the thing is that let me start from my history. Let me start from somewhere. Remember when they wore gown?
Yeah, I know you are happy with that.
You remember when they wore gown? Yeah. That was when I knew that the organizers or those in charge of our female side, the vibe was not tallying. It was not tallying. Like, how do you wear gown to, even if other countries are doing it, how do you wear gown? Like, it's just so that you will lose. Like, I don't understand. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like, there are things that has symbols.
Yeah.
There are things that really bears a symbol of an entity. Gown is not part of it. Even though as a woman, we understand the place of, dressing up and kissing up as a woman. What happened to maybe a track with that adire or traditional wear that we got from the jungle? What happened to, what happened to suit them up? It's a serious business. Now, I know you can't use the men and compare the women, because the women, if they are coming in and they are dancing or they are having their vibing, their mind could be, even when they are playing, their mind could be dancing. So I'm just telling you that it is where I started seeing problems, and I don't really see problems easily, because I see a lot of solutions in life. But what I'm saying is that why did we had to arrive in the WAFCON? Why did we had to arrive with just adire? Just
a plain gown.
And it's straight gown, no?
Yeah, it's
nothing was spectacular about the gown. And then if you touch one of the gowns, they could tell you it's $2,500 or $23,000 for each. And it's not working. It's not really working. So, but then that's just by the way, because we are enjoying the gown now. I mean, they are wearing. What do you mean? They are having a good gown. At least they have.
Are they going to wear that gown?
They have apart from Alozie that was crying. So
you could see the
Alozie that was really crying so red. You would see her crying and crying and crying. Apart from her, there's no other person in that team apart from Rashidat Ajibade and then Ashishat Oshola, and just few names that are good. The team itself needs some background check. Now, not just that, also their morale already has been.
It was down, right?
It was down
right from when they. In fact, from the beginning, it was down.
Their morale was down, so it wasn't something that we can say, okay, maybe they are trying to,
look at our men.
Now our men missed out on the FIFA World Cup, and the female missed out on the FIFA World Cup. It's just not all smiles again. It's actually an all serious kind of issue. And we're going to see what happens at the end of the day. For me, I must tell you that this is not coming together at all. It's not what we used to know Nigeria. It's not what we used to know our people. And it's not what we used to know those who are fighting for us. Now we have Nigeria's FIFA referee, MEC Eunice Akintoye, who was center referee for the WAFCON semi-final match between Algeria and Malawi. The match saw 2 red cards. This has raised a lot of questions and a lot of downtown observations. The lady was like,
once you just misbehave,
if you
don't misbehave in my pitch, you are going off. just play the football.
But really, she was professional. That game, she was really professional.
Any tackle that for me, I don't know why people want to start criticizing her because she branded the 2 red cards. If the tackle was not worth it, she will not be giving you red card. She will give you yellow card. So when the tackle is worth it, young lady, leave the pitch. Just go home. If you think you are here to do rugby, we are not here for rugby. You have to go. So I'm happy with her. If we are going to be having some referees like this that are strict on business, because for me, I don't advocate those kind of rough tackles in football. I don't enjoy it. If you are playing football and everything is fair, let someone play football and have the opportunity to play another day, not ending somebody's career. I should not come to the pitch and be scared of you because you are coming with your stud or something. So for me, any rough challenge, anything that is not supposed to be humanly done in the pitch, you should leave the pitch. Since you want to go to wrestling, go there and do WWE, or you go to the UFC and do the kickboxing. Not coming to play football and you want to end somebody's career. Is that where you are supposed to end the career? Is the person 45 or 40 that you want to end the career? So I like the woman. I enjoyed the match. It was Malawi, so they gave the other people red card first. She also gave to Malawi. So she balanced the match. It was 11-11 before. Now she made it 10-10. It's like people were too much in the field. That okay, let's reduce the numbers since you guys are too much. There is no space.
Yeah.
So we have to, exchange. At least it was fair. She balanced it at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so
she balanced it, but then when you see that her country, they had a tough match, a tough game to play. So she had not, like, many people are linking it up with Nigeria. Oh, why would she be doing that? She's
they feel that she's pained, or she's not happy that we are not.
Just pissed off, But then many people are linking it to the emotions of a woman, but that does not work. In professional people can be trained
referee
people can be trained to have to do their job without emotions.
What has emotion got to do with giving you red card?
And what has emotion got to do with you not qualifying for World Cup? I mean, you did not play well, so you should not qualify. And then you have yourself to be, to face South Africa in the roasting session.
You had the opportunity now to even play South Africa. Ghana qualified though. Ghana has, they won their own playoff also yesterday, so they will go with South Africa to play on that continent. So imagine now Ghana is going to have the opportunity to qualify. South Africa is going to have, these two countries, they will see, you will not have good nights. When you have friends over there that are going to be batting, or when you go online, you see these people, they will start batting Nigeria, South Africa and Ghana having the opportunity to qualify. Meanwhile, we, the giant of Africa, we don't even have any slim opportunity again. If you like, go and play it's friendlies now we'll be playing to 2027. The women's side now we are going to be playing friendlies because I don't see there's no other competition.
And I hope we wear Ashoke. We tie Ashoke too.
Are we going to tie Ashoke and play if we
No, we're going to tie it, because when I was talking about it, it was as though that there was an issue.
We are not going to tie that and play football.
Now you see the likes of Uzbekistan, you see the likes of Ghana, qualifying, and they are going to play in the Women's World Cup qualification playoff. Yeah. And that's what we need. That's what we actually need as a nation. That's what we have been expecting Nigeria to play. That's what we've been expecting this side to play. But at the end of the day, we're going to see what happens much more. Now we can go over to Fenerbahce. Currently, we're going to see what their team looks like after they have welcomed Romelu Lukaku. And the question is, do you think Romelu Lukaku would be the answer to the issues they've been having if they are not really at the top as they should be? Do you think Romelu Lukaku could bring that quality to that team? Well,
Lukaku is first of all is a qualified and a quality player. He's a qualified, bona fide and a quality player. He has proven that over time. And don't forget, it's not only Romelu Lukaku that is there. Talisca is also there. Talisca of Al Nassr. That's where he plays also. Mason Greenwood is also there. These people, they have quality right now. I can tell you that title, that Turkish championship is going to be, heavily contended, not just between Fenerbahce and Galatasaray. Don't forget Trabzonspor, who have also signed the Egyptian king. Now it's going to be a 3-horseman race. This time around, it's not the regular season where you are going to have a Galatasaray, winning the league as if it's their own birthright. This time around, you are going to do a lot to win that league. Galatasaray will be fighting. Fenerbahce will be fighting. Trabzonspor will be fighting. So these three, Onachu, Mohamed Salah, Onana, you go to Fenerbahce, in fact, their squad list I think is even more fortified with players than even Galatasaray right now. Imagine Romelu Lukaku, Talisca, the likes of Mason Greenwood, what's it called? Fred is also there.
No, Fred just left.
Fred has gone. I'm trying to remember, there's one more player that went there.
Greenwood.
No, I've mentioned Mason Greenwood. That squad.
They have Asensio, they have Guendouzi, they have
Guendouzi is still there. And N'Golo Kante, thank you very much. Imagine this squad.
They have Semedo.
Semedo is still there.
Yeah,
I really wonder how Galatasaray
and they have Skriniar. They have Skriniar. They have Nathan Ake. They have Brown.
No.
They have Ederson.
that's the Manchester City
goalkeeper, yeah,
has got to imagine. No, see this squad list. Is this squad not qualified to be in the Premier League? With this list of players, they are qualified. So that Turkish league, I can tell you that if someone used to bet on Galatasaray before to win the league, I don't think this is the right time to do that. This should not be the right. Fenerbahce is going to give Galatasaray a run for their money. They are going to see, probably if Victor Osimhen should leave, it's going to be another. If Asta at the end of the day should get his signature, and Galatasaray without Osimhen.
If Victor Osimhen is going to leave, Trabzonspor is going to take a better shape.
Trabzonspor.
That's where Mohamed Salah signed, and you have Paul Onuachu. Yeah. Then you have Andrew Nana, the midfield goalkeeper.
The midfield maestro, who is the keeper.
He's the goalkeeper. Now you have that. They're going to face a lot of backlash. But because with the departure of Mario Icardi, you are now having only Victor Osimhen to, play and become someone who will see. But we're going to see what happens at the end of the day. And just before we go on a short break, let's just take a look at what's happening in Leicester City. It's just everywhere right now that Leicester City is no longer the team that we used to know. And they have released a club statement that they want to sell their team, for 200 million euros.
When I saw this news, I was like, why? Despite, you have moved from the Premier League, you came from the Championship, Premier League, moved to Championship, then now moving to League One. It's quite a deep dive. You are diving downwards, really. Going from Premier League to Champions League is kind of bad. Now, going from Championship to League One is better, if you are going to use that statement. Now, does it now mean you should sell the club? People fight from that League One back to the Championship. Won't you try and see a way that you can rise back to your feet? Leicester City is a great club. They have won the Premier League when they came. Now you have had a bad time. Let's say very poor run that you went from Premier League, Championship and to League One. Now it's also a time for you to fall and stand up, fight for yourself. Come back from the League One to the Championship. Then you will now see a way. Of course, this will take a long time. This will take years. It's not going to be just like that. People are in the League One. They have been there struggling to come to the Championship even. And eventually they get there. So now look at the fee that they even put. 200 million euros, that's plus. We don't know what the plus is, how much is added on it, but it's above 200 million euros. How can you be selling the club for 200 million euros? How much is Julian Alvarez release clause? Was that not 500 million euros? And Leicester City, a football club, is placing or is wanting to sell their club for 200, and I don't know if this is appropriate. This price tag is even looking so small for me, and before you know it, anybody can come and buy this club. If a footballer will just come out and Ronaldo can just afford to buy this club, Messi can just decide to buy it. So that price tag, I don't know why they went so low like that, because you're in the Championship, or maybe they're having financial crisis. So this news, I will take my time, at the end this weekend, to go and see what is really happening, because this price tag is looking so small for me, and it was just too sudden. They just came outside, and you have not even given yourselves the opportunity to see if you can fight back to the Championship, and now start looking forward to going back to the Premier League. You just want to sell the club. Then the players are there, you still sell everybody there, the managers, the coaching staff, and everybody, the staff that are working in, not even the coaching crew. There's a lot of things to do, and you just come outside. And anyway, that's their decision. I'm not part of Leicester City, but I will really take my time to go to every avenue that I can get and see what is really happening. If I can get a news about Leicester City, I want to really know what is happening. But this price tag I'm seeing, I can tell you, is very small.
Well, it's very small, but we're going to see what happens at the end of the day after you're done with your research. Now let's take a quick short break. We'll be right back shortly. Do stay with us.
Every second, the world changes, markets rise, leaders speak, stories unfold. To keep up, you don't just need news, you need clarity, you need speed, you need perspective.
That's why Aneke TV brings you the global pulse. Accurate, reliable, right when it matters most. Aneke TV, move with the world.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at the news coming out from Manchester United, where it has said that Manchester United has spent just below the new teams that has come up from relegation into the Premier League, and it has been something that has concerned some players and also some fans of the team. I must tell you that Manchester United currently has spent, from what we have on the screen, just 83.3 million euros, and while you have Coventry has spent 109.4 million euros, then you have Ipswich Town 109.4 million euros. Coventry, has spent 92.2 million euros, and we have Ipswich Town, who has fortified their squad with just 109.4 million euros, and then you have these two new promoted clubs actually have outspent Manchester United. Does it really look like Manchester United does not want to spend a player? Maybe they have, the qualities right now.
Well, for me, it's not all about spending. If you have the players, why spend? It's like you have a good, maybe first 11, you're having a good second 11. What are you going to do in the market? So it's not coming out to just go out there, buy players that makes you a better team. At the end of the day, what are you going to use the players for? Manchester United, for me, has a great squad already. So coming to spend so much in this transfer window, I don't see the necessity. Who are you going to buy? Now they have gotten Tillemans. Bruno Fernandes is also there. Who left? Casemiro left. They got Tillemans. They got Andre Santos, who is supposed to replace Casemiro. Which other player has gone out of Manchester City that you are saying you want to go and replace? There's nobody leaving Manchester City that you want to replace. So why should they go into the market and be spending money for no reason? Their striker is still there, Sesko is still there. They have Zexi, Rashford is back. They have Kuan, they have Mbuemo. So going to the market, are you going to buy what? In the defense, you still have all your defenders. Mazraoui is still there, Delete is still there. What's it called? The Martinez is still there. Euro is still there. Dalot is still there. Dogu is still there. The keepers, they are still there. So tell me what you want to go and buy. Do you not want to go and just force a player? You just, okay, since the people that are newly promoted are spending way above you, okay, let me just also go and showcase and show myself that I still have money I should spend. So when you are spending, it has to be necessary. It has to be. If you see Real Madrid that are buying now, you can see the necessity. They needed to buy. Now, if you don't need to buy, you just need one or two. Casemiro left, you need another defensive midfielder. You brought in Andre Santos. You also even brought Tillemans, who plays as an attacking midfielder in case of any injury for Bruno Fernandes, because we know that's where Tillemans play. For me, I don't see any necessity or eventuality that they should be spent. So not spending does not mean you don't have a great squad. Look at Manchester City. They have not even spent a lot this season. Still, in pursuit for Enzo Fernandez. Of course, today is the deadline. By 5 p.m., we are going to see if he's coming to Manchester City or he's staying at Chelsea. Apart from that, guy that they bought that cost them a lot, Anderson. Which other signing have the rest have been, signing their contract? Doku also renewed his contract. Mamouche is also there. They have Savinho till today has not gone to Tottenham.
Which
Savinho?
Oh, Jeremy Doku. Yes,
Jeremy Doku has
contract.
He has. So you see that
2032.
it's not all about going to spend. Real Madrid that has spent a lot has their reasons, and we saw it about 2 seasons now. Real Madrid has not been the Real Madrid that we know. Arsenal has not also spent a lot. Who has Arsenal gotten this season? So you don't just go. You just maybe Chelsea that have bought a few players. Liverpool has also spent a lot. So Coventry and Ipswich coming to outspend Manchester United. Good for them. They need it. They need to revitalize their squad. Now you don't just force someone to go and spend money when he does not need to spend the money. So for me, I don't see the necessity to be spending money when you have the guys already.
But when you look at Manchester United midfield, do you think they are players they should welcome, or do you think they are good like that the way they are, or do you think they are players they should actually welcome right now?
Who are you going to welcome?
Looking at the midfield, you're seeing if you are still trying to figure out if there could be some, since the departure of Casemiro.
That's the only person that left in that midfield.
If Tillemans will be able to, cover up for Casemiro,
they have to. It's not even just Andre Santos and Tillemans.
Then there's Kobe Mino.
Kobe Mino is still there. Ugarte, as of today, is still a Manchester United player. he has not gone now. He has not left the club.
He's injured.
Okay, he's injured. So last season, let's look at last season. Who did they use? Still the Casemiro, still the Bruno Fernandes. Okay, Ugarte and Maino. Now this season, just Casemiro leaving, you have gotten 2. Tillemans and Andre Santos. So the midfield now is even more fortified than last season. Yeah, it's just Casemiro that left.
It's just Casemiro that left.
For me,
but Michael Carrick has come out to say that there could be 1 or 2 more signings. It's not feasible, but it's going to be a situation they have to weigh in properly before they welcome players. And there are big names that has been rumored to attach to signings for Manchester United, like Aaron Chumeni, who just renewed his contract over there in Madrid, and Eduardo Camavinga. Then also Manu Kone from AS Roma is still on the timeline to make his signing for Manchester United, even though it's not just out there. Because I feel that even the way the transfers have been going, Manchester United have been so protective with whom they want to play. And right now, when you watch Manchester United games, like a lot of other club and team analysts have really said, you would see that there's now a structured gameplay which has made them one of the promising sides in the Premier League and also in the world of Champions League. We're seeing that Manchester United that played during Sir Alex Ferguson coming back to life, and that's what Michael Carrick has been building so far. You understand that kind of game and that kind of team, and is making a lot of impact just in the Premier League, and it promises to be interesting, even though that you are going to have more of Kobe Menu and Tillemans just at the defensive midfield, but you're now going to see Bruno push forward to do what he knows best.
It's good to have that space, when, unlike before where he normally tracks back to defend, this time around you have 2 great guys,
you see the difference between Santos. You see the difference between these 2 coaches, between Ruben Amorim and Michael Carrick. Ruben Amorim wants to make Bruno Fernandes a midfielder, while Bruno Fernandes would now. He wants to make Bruno Fernandes a defensive midfielder,
which that is not even where he plays.
Yes.
You cannot be playing Fernandes as a defensive midfielder. Who is now going to? This is all. Look at his number of assists last season. This is an assist kind of person, the kind of De Bruyne, the kind of Modric, and you want to go and play him as a defensive midfielder. So who is now going to be giving the strikers the pass? When you have that mentality of turning somebody into what he's not supposed to be. If you are saying you want
not turning somebody into what he's supposed to be, turning somebody who is something into what is not supposed to be.
Now imagine,
however you can put
anyhow you want to put it, but just that's not where he's supposed to fit in. If you are telling me you want to turn Andre Onana to a midfielder, we saw that in him, that he possesses those kind of passes despite he's a keeper. When they turned Gareth Bale, who was a defender, to an attacker, you saw the way it is that this person is able to play in this. Now you want to turn someone that is creative to come out. Fernandes is not defensive. Once they push Fernandes a little bit, he's going to go to the floor, and you are telling that person to come and become a defensive midfielder. Are you not seeing that tactical and that mentality that you are possessing is not what you are supposed to be using for Manchester United? Not that kind of player.
Yeah, it's where we're calling it a day on this edition of Aneke TV Sports. It's been a good morning. It's been thank God it's Friday morning while we're bringing you what's happening around the world of sports. Until we come your way same time, same station here on Aneke TV. Stay tuned and tell us what you think on the comment section while you're watching. I am Guto Chukuma, the Sports Oracle.
Yeah, I still remain your humble host worldwide. Don't forget the La Liga is coming up. In fact, it's starting this weekend, and don't forget Community Shield also is this Sunday, so there's a lot packed up for this weekend. Have a lovely Friday. Bye bye.
Depression is more than sadness. It is a medical condition that affects thoughts, emotion, and daily functioning. Many people struggle silently, masking their pains with smiles or busyness. This silence often makes the battle harder. Recognizing symptoms like fatigue, isolation, and loss of interest is an important first step. Depression is not a sign of weakness. It is a health challenge that requires care and understanding. Just like any illness, it deserves proper attention. Help exists through therapy, medication support groups, and open conversations. When society treats mental health seriously, more people find the courage to seek help. No one should suffer alone. Compassion can save lives.
Across Nigeria, from bustling cities to quiet rural communities, one institution has endured the test of time: the traditional leadership. Long before modern governance structures emerged, these institutions were the heartbeat of society, providing leadership, justice, and social cohesion in ways that remain indispensable to this day. Traditional institutions are not merely ceremonial. They are custodians of Nigeria's rich and diverse cultural heritage. From the Obas of Yoruba land, the Emirs of the North, to the Iwe and Obi of Igbo land, traditional rulers preserve centuries of customs, language, festivals, and rituals. They ensure that the stories, values, and identity of their people are not lost in a rapidly changing world. What sets these institutions apart is their organic legitimacy. Unlike elected officials whose authority depends on periodic votes, traditional rulers derive their influence from ancestry, community consent, and deeply rooted cultural norms. This legacy makes them trusted arbiters, moral authorities, and stabilizing forces within their communities. Their position above partisan politics allows them to mediate dispute and guide society with a unique combination of wisdom and authority. At the grassroots level, traditional institutions are indispensable for governance and social order. They resolve dispute, manage land and chieftaincy matters, and acts as intermediaries between local communities and government policy. In rural areas, where formal structures are often distant or overstretched, the presence of these leaders ensures continuity, fairness, and accessibility in governance. Beyond mediation, traditional rulers are catalysts for development. They mobilize communities for education, healthcare, and infrastructure projects, while acting partnerships from governments and private entities. Their influence ensures that development initiatives are participatory, culturally appropriate, and sustainable. In this way, traditional leadership becomes a force for progress as well as preservation. Traditional institutions also play a vital role in maintaining security by leveraging local knowledge and community networks. Rulers provide essential intelligence and oversight, collaborating with security agencies to prevent and mitigate conflicts. Their involvement strengthens community resilience and reinforces the social contract between citizens and the state. Equally important is the moral and ethical dimension of traditional leadership. These institutions instill values of respect, integrity, communal responsibility, and peaceful coexistence. In a society grappling with ethical and social challenges, the guidance of traditional rulers remains a vital instrument for fostering discipline and virtue. In a nation as diverse as Nigeria, traditional institutions serve as a bridges of unity. They manage ethnic and cultural diversity, promote dialogue, and encourage mutual respect, while preserving distinct local identities. Through their wisdom, they help maintain harmony and stability across communities that might otherwise be divided. The traditional institution is far from a relic of the past. It is a dynamic, enduring pillar of Nigerian society, a custodian of heritage, a mediator of peace, a driver of development, and a moral compass for generations. To harness Nigeria's full potential, there must be a deliberate integration of these institutions into governance and national development strategies. For in preserving the past, guiding the present, and shaping the future, traditional leadership remains at the very heart of Nigerian life.
Frontline Africa is Aneke TV's flagship current affairs program, where critical national and continental issues take center stage.
On Frontline Africa, we examine politics, the economy, security, business, health, and a wide range of other key sectors shaping society.
The program is insightful, engaging, and interactive, providing a platform for informed analysis and meaningful public discourse.
Here, issues are discussed raw, balanced, and expertly with depth, clarity, and a commitment to fact and accountability.
Join us every Saturday at 5 in the evening, only on Aneke TV.
Good morning and welcome to News Around the Globe on Aneke TV. I'm Good Hope Chukuma. Glad to have you join us. Headlines. Presidency extends public submission window for landmark national policing bill. ICPC uncovers extensive family-linked payroll schemes and ghost worker frauds. On the foreign scene, North Korea fires ballistic missile off eastern coast, warning of heightened nuclear deterrence. Now the news in details. The presidency has extended the deadline for public submissions on the proposed national policing bill to August 21st, 2026. The chief of staff to the president and chairman of the presidential working group on the bill, Chief Femi Gbajabiamila, confirmed the extension in a statement issued in Abuja. According to the chief of staff, the additional time is designed to allow legal practitioners, civil society organizations, security experts, and interested citizens to submit detailed memoranda aimed at reforming the country's security architecture. The legislation seeks to establish a modern operational, administrative, and financial framework for policing across the Federation. Key thematic areas currently being reviewed by the working group include unified command structures, standardized recruitment protocols, sustainable funding channels, and statutory accountability mechanisms. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has commenced the distribution of sensitive election materials across Osun State. Supervised by the resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Oluwatoyin Babalola, security escorted convoys dispatched the materials from the Central Bank of Nigeria vault in Oshobo towards designated distribution points. Electoral officials confirmed that logistics arrangements prioritized had to reach rural locations to guarantee timely delivery. The deployment phase followed a brief adjustment triggered by a federal high court order mandating the inclusion of the Social Democratic Party on official election documentation. Civil society monitors and election observers have commended the Commission's swift compliance and operational adaptability in resolving the legal constraints. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has reaffirmed its readiness for upcoming electoral activities in Osun State. In a statement issued in Abuja, the National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Malam Mohammed Haruna, stated that voter card collection drives and administrative verifications were successfully finalized ahead of the polls. The Commission extended assurances to registered political parties, civil society organizations, accredited media entities, and the general public regarding the integrity of the process. The Nigerian police force has deployed 30 commissioners of police to supervise security operations during the Osun State governorship election. Addressing journalists at a news briefing in Oshobo, the force public relations officer, Mr. Aneke TV, announced that a Deputy Inspector General of Police has been assigned to directly coordinate overall security logistics on the ground. The deployment encompasses over 15,000 police personnel supported by area surveillance units, including tactical drones and specialized helicopters. Furthermore, 2 mobile police force units have been stationed at the state headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Oshobo, alongside unit allocations across all local government headquarters. The force spokesperson urged parents and community leaders to restrain youths from engaging in illegal conduct, such as voter intimidation or ballot disruption. The governor of Oyo State and presidential candidate of the Allied People's Movement, APM, Seyi Makinde, has named former Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS, Mr. Lawal Daura, as his running mate for the 2027 presidential election. Governor Makinde made the official announcement in Bauchi during the APM Elective National Convention held at the Riwanu Adamu Square Government House. Lawal Daura replaces Ibrahim Bala, who previously held the vice presidential slot as an interim placeholder. The former intelligence chief joined the Allied People's Movement shortly after resigning his membership from the African Democratic Congress following the Katsina State governorship primaries. Elucidating the choice, Governor Makinde stated that Daura has selected due to his extensive background in national security and intelligence architecture. He expressed confidence that their joint ticket offers a pragmatic approach towards addressing internal security challenges across the Federation. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has exposed widespread payroll fraud within federal ministries, departments, and agencies, recovering over 24 billion naira in siphoned public pension funds. ICPC Chairman Dr. Musa Aliyu announced these findings during an anti-corruption symposium in Abuja, revealing how corrupt personnel manipulated government databases to extract multiple unauthorized salaries. Investigations conducted by the anti-graft agency uncovered severe instances where rogue public officers unlawfully enrolled up to 14 family members onto state payroll systems. In specific cases, single perpetrators managed to collect as many as 13 separate monthly salaries concurrently through fraudulent administrative entries. The Commission's ongoing national audit identified approximately 900 suspicious payroll entries characterized by mismatched official email records and linked personal bank accounts. Dr. Aliyu emphasized that these systematic leakages extended across public pension schemes, national mortgage institutions, and government health insurance funds. The Katsina State Governor Malam Diko Rada, alongside the Director General of the Department of State Services, Mr. Oluwatosin Ajayi, have called for enhanced intelligence sharing among security institutions to eradicate terrorism in the Northwest Zone. The joint call was made in Katsina during the opening ceremony of the second Northwest Zonal Conference of State Directors of Security. Governor Rada, who was represented at the summit by Deputy Governor Farouk Jobe, stated that regional security challenges require a unified tactical strategy rather than fragmented agency responses. He noted that combined operations involving civil security components have restored stability to several vulnerable communities across Katsina State. The governor urged media organizations to adhere to higher standards of objective journalism and refrain from publishing sensationalized reports that glorifies criminal syndicates. He stressed that responsible reporting prevents non-state actors from gaining psychological leverage over local populations. Firefighters from the Kwara State Fire Service averted a potential explosion yesterday after a fuel tanker trailer decoupled along the New Jeba Highway in Olori town. The articulated vehicle, carrying approximately 45,000 liters of premium motor spirit from Lagos to Abuja, detached near residential structures and commercial premises. Emergency response teams dispatched to the scene immediately initiated cooling operations, saturating the immediate vicinity with chemical foam and water to suppress volatile fuel vapors. Fire officers successfully prevented fuel ignition despite the spill occurring in densely populated transit hub. The State Chief Fire Officer, Mr. Labi Mohammed, commended the prompt response of emergency crews and urged long-distance haulage companies to conduct mandatory technical checks before trips. You're watching news around the globe coming to you live from Aneke TV. For more updates and breaking stories, stay connected with us on social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube at Aneke TV. And now here is a recap of some of the major stories making headlines. Presidency extends public submission window for landmark national policing bill. ICPC uncovers extensive family-linked payroll schemes and ghost worker frauds. Coming up shortly on Foreign Scene, North Korea fires ballistic missile off eastern coast, warning of heightened nuclear deterrence. We'll be right back shortly. Stay with us.
7 days, countless moments, stories that shape the week. From decisions in the corridors of power to developments affecting everyday lives. From moments of challenge to stories of resilience and progress. This is where the week comes into focus. Week in retrospect, only on Aneke TV.
Welcome back. North Korea has warned against planned joint military exercises between the United States and South Korea threatening an expanded nuclear posture in response. Korean Central News Agency reported that Pyongyang views the annual All-Chief Freedom Shield exercises as an aggressive rehearsal for invasion, accusing Washington, Seoul, and Tokyo of forming a hostile military bloc. In a demonstration of military force, North Korea launched a ballistic missile off its eastern coast near Wonsan in the East Sea. The South Korean Joint Chiefs of Staff confirmed detecting the missile trajectory, marking the North's second major weapons test within a single week. Military commanders from the United States and South Korea maintained that the upcoming 10-day defense maneuvers are routine and aimed at countering regional security threats. The updated exercises will focus on multi-domain defense scenarios, including counter-drone operations and cybersecurity defense. The United States Department of Defense has declared its capability to maintain a sustained naval presence in the Middle East, signaling continued economic pressure on Iran. United States Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth confirmed that American naval strike groups will maintain continuous rotation schedules through key maritime corridors to enforce existing international trade restrictions. The prolonged standoff has generated volatility across international energy markets, causing commercial shipping volume through the Strait of Hormuz to decline significantly. Recent attacks on maritime tankers and coastal refining installations have heightened risk premiums for global shipping operators. Iranian government officials reiterated that full commercial access to strategic waterways will only be restored following the complete lifting of economic sanctions and the release of frozen foreign assets. At least 7 workers have been confirmed dead and 13 others injured following a severe landslide at a hydroelectric project site in northern India. Extreme monsoon rainfall triggered the slope failure in the Himalayan state of Uttarakhand, directing rock debris and water into an active construction tunnel. Disaster response personnel deployed motorized inflatable craft and heavy machinery through flooded underground chambers, successfully rescuing 19 laborers trapped within the submerged complex. Search and rescue operations remain underway to locate 3 missing workers believed to be trapped deeper inside the facility. Now in business, the Abia State government has imposed an immediate ban on commercial tricycle operations along major intercity transit corridors, including the Umuahia, Obu-Owerri Highway and routes leading towards Ohafia and Arochukwu. State transport officials confirmed that enforcement task forces have been authorized to impound non-compliant vehicles. Providing clarification on the directive, the Abia State Commissioner for Transport, Mr. Chimezie Isaac Ukebu, clarified that the executive order does not constitute an absolute ban on tricycles within urban centers. He stated that the policy targets long-distance highway travel, where speed differentials create significant traffic hazards. The Ministry of Transport noted that the measure was introduced to lower fatal traffic accidents, enhance highway safety, and restore order along interstate routes. Specialized enforcement units have been deployed along affected corridors to monitor compliance and direct traffic flow. The state administration appealed to commercial transport unions and commuters to adjust to the designated corridor restrictions. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, has convened an emergency stakeholder meeting in Abuja to resolve industrial disputes affecting airport operations nationwide. The high-level session brought together leadership from domestic airlines, aviation labor unions and regulatory agencies. A core resolution from the summit established a structured repayment framework allowing domestic airline operators to liquidate outstanding statutory fees without disrupting flight schedules. Minister Keyamo also directed the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to ensure full compliance with statutory labor rights regarding union memberships. The ministry warned that regulatory sanctions will be applied against any airline management attempting to hinder staff from participating in legitimate union activities. President Bola Tinubu has affirmed his administration's complete accountability for resolving Nigeria's economic challenges, asserting that his tenure will focus on implementing structural reforms rather than attributing difficulties to previous governments. The president stated this in Abuja during a meeting with the national leadership of the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers. Addressing state emerging energy policy, President Tinubu pledged comprehensive structural reforms aimed at rehabilitating national oil refineries to full operational capacity. He assured union executive members that bringing domestic refining infrastructure back online remains a top national priority for his administration. The president stated that ongoing fiscal and energy adjustments are designed to yield long-term economic stability and commercial profitability. Now in sports, the head coach of the Super Falcons, Justin Madugu, has apologized to football supporters following the team's failure to secure qualification for the upcoming FIFA Women's World Cup. Speaking at a press conference, Coach Madugu expressed regret over the outcome while urging fans to remain supportive during the national team's restructuring phase. Coach Madugu emphasized that immediate focus has shifted towards addressing technical shortcomings and integrating emerging talent into the national squad. He assured football administrators that tactical adjustments will be implemented during upcoming international training windows. Now in entertainment, interior designer Ehi Obebo has issued a public rebuttal against reality television personality Diadem following claims regarding businessman Olakunle Churchill. The public dispute escalated following the online release of recorded voice notes containing heated personal exchanges between the media figures. In the audio recordings, Obebo refuted assertions made during an online disagreement involving Diadem and former associate Dabota Lawson. Obebo addressed several allegations raised in the recording, warning the reality star against further public comment concerning her personal affairs. Neither party has released a statement through legal counsel regarding the leaked recordings. However, the online material continues to generate commentary across digital communication platforms. And now, to end the news, the main points again. The presidency has extended the public submission deadline for the National Policing Bill to August 21st to enable expanded public and professional participation in crafting the country's new security framework. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission has recovered over 24 billion naira in pension fraud after uncovering government officials inserting dozens of family members onto state payrolls. North Korea has launched a ballistic missile off its eastern coast near Wonsan, warning of an escalated nuclear posture ahead of joint United States and South Korea military exercises. That concludes news around the globe on Aneke TV. For more updates and breaking stories, follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube at Aneke TV. Thank you for watching. I am Good Hope Chukuma. Good morning.
I want to gently recommend this to you. Please do not be nice. Be kind, because kindness is a measure of our humanity, but do not be nice. Nice means wanting always to be liked, and this is a particular affliction of female socialization. Nice means silencing inconvenient truths. Nice means choosing always to be comfortable. Nice means letting go of courage. Nice means talking about peace, but not about justice. Nice will not remake the world, and there is so much about our world that needs remaking. There is no such thing as a perfect human being. The longing for perfection will hold you back. It doesn't help any cause to start with perfection as yardstick. We do not need to be perfect before we are able to do what is right. I wish you everything you wish for yourself that causes no harm to others.
Welcome to another edition of Street Conversation. Now, with the rising case of kidnapping, banditry, and cultism and terrorism in the country. The federal government, the National Assembly, and the Senate has proposed or are proposing a state policing bill, one that would help decentralize the policing system from the federal to the state levels. And this will help curb insecurity, banditry, such that these members of this force are familiar with the terrains of the environment. So today on the streets of Enugu, we are asking a very vital and important question. The state police, is it a welcome development? Is it a welcome strategy or a risky experiment?
Well, I would like us to remain in federal police because of a lot of corruption that is happening in Nigeria, in Enugu here. There are supposed to be a controller. Like as we have Abuja, Umuahia, all those zones. Yes, if they wake up or order come from above, like Inspector General come up and advise them or tell them what to do to make sure all those corruption stop. Police know their work. Their work according to individual. If you come to federal police, they are working. They know their work. When they want to work, they will work. For example, when they say they kill a police, I see how they work and got the person. That is how, if they're ready to get all this insecurity apprehend, they must get it. It depends, but some of them don't want to die. Some of them don't want to come at work. What they depend on bribe. But when federal come in, like Abuja, you see, no, there will be no bribe because I have gone there and see what is happening there.
My advice for state police that we need state police, and the advantage of state police is for street and some location, because not all the area with federal police you can conquer, and not anything state police can handle. So you understand? And when you have state police, because yesterday someone came to this car and tipped the battery. Last 2 weeks, yesterday through this morning the same thing. But this car, but once he 10 o'clock, everywhere is quiet. Anybody can do whatever they want to do. But when you have state police stay here 24 hours, another one in that junction, another one in mayor, all the state police conquer all this actually out. Everybody will stay peaceful.
So, but I think it's a very nice thing to do, in the sense that when it comes to employment, each state will have to, it won't be a scenario where maybe 80% of the quota goes to the north or to the southerners and the rest of it. And I think if it's being done state by state and all of that, I think it will be able to checkmate, you understand, and it's going to curb insecurity at least to the barest minimum. I think it's a nice, I welcome the idea.
My own opinion, all the very okay, because abiagodi na employment okay help our people, because almost here niile na no na Igbo land bo ndị Hausa, ndị North biya na send here as policemen, but ya by state there will be recruitment here. There will be employment here.
Very, very necessary. If they can put that effort to make, for instance, this is Enugu State, I'm in Enugu State, then they make Enugu State to get their own policemen. All these Enugu people, they know all these forests in Enugu State. They know every forest in Enugu State, they know them. If anything happens to Enugu State, if you call them, they will know. They will know the particular people that caused that conflict. So let them have their own. Each states have their own policemen.
From what we have heard and listened to, we understand that one thing is predominant. The citizens of Enugu believe that the state policing system is one that would help curb insecurity on a very larger scale. We do understand that every policy, every system may have its advantages and disadvantages, but we understand here today that the advantages probably may outweigh its disadvantages, as this would help curb this to a large extent because we understand that these recruits, these persons in these forces are citizens and natives of the said state and the said community. In Enugu, Princess Ken Ochoma, Aneke TV News. Nigeria's worsening security situation has continued to intensify calls for the creation of state police, as kidnapping, banditry, terrorism, and violent crimes stretch the capacity of federal security agencies across several regions. In recent years, Nigeria has witnessed repeated mass abductions of school children and civilians, including incidents in Kaduna, Niger, Zamfara, and Katsina states, where armed groups have targeted schools, highways, and rural communities. The Chibok schoolgirls' abduction in Borno State, the Kankara school attack in Katsina, and the recent wave of kidnappings along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway remain defining examples of the scale of insecurity confronting the country. Beyond school attacks, rural banditry in the northwest has led to mass displacement of communities, destruction of livelihoods, and repeated negotiations for hostage releases. In the southeast, violent attacks on security formations and civilian targets have also been recorded in parts of Anambra, Imo, and Enugu states. In the northeast, insurgency linked to Boko Haram and ISWAP continues to destabilize rural and border communities despite years of military oppression. Security analysts argue that these overlapping crises expose a major structural gap: Nigeria's centralized policing system. With the Nigeria Police Force controlled federally, operational directives, logistics, and deployment approvals often require central clearance, even when emergencies are localized. A key challenge often raised is the limited operational authority of state governors over commissioners of police. While governors are officially described as chief security officers of their states, in practice, commissioners of police in each state report directly to the Inspector General of Police in Abuja. This means governors cannot independently order arrests, deployments, or tactical operations without federal approval. There have been several public instances where governors requested urgent deployment or redeployment of police personnel during crisis, only for delays or bureaucratic procedures to slow response time. In fast-moving security emergencies such as kidnappings or communal clashes, these delays can prove critical. Supporters of state police argue that decentralization would allow states to respond faster, using officers recruited, trained, and deployed within local environments. They say local policing would improve intelligence gathering because officers understand local languages, terrain, and community networks, which are essential in tracking criminal groups operating in rural and forested areas. They also point to countries with decentralized policing systems. In the United States, state and local police forces operate independently but coordinate through federal agencies when necessary. In Germany, policing is primarily managed at state level, Länder, while maintaining federal oversight for national security. India also maintains state-controlled police forces under a federal constitutional framework. However, Nigeria's security experts caution that without strong oversight, state police could be vulnerable to political interference. There are concerns that governors could misuse security structures against political opponents, journalists, or dissenting voices, especially in states with weak institutional checks. Human rights advocates also warn that disparity in funding and training between states could create unequal policing standards across the country. Wealthier states may develop stronger forces, while poorer regions could struggle to maintain professional capacity, potentially widening security inequality. Despite these concerns, many analysts argue that the current centralized system is overstretched. With Nigeria's population exceeding 200 million and vast ungoverned rural spaces, federal police presence is often thin on the ground, creating operational vacuums exploited by armed groups. In several kidnapping cases along highways and remote communities, response times have been delayed due to distance, logistics, and command structure approvals. This has strengthened argument that localized policing would reduce response time and improve preventive intelligence rather than reactive operations. Proponents now suggest a hybrid model where state police operate under national standards with unified training, strict federal oversight, and shared intelligence systems. This, they argue, would balance local efficiency with national control and reduce the risk of abuse. Others propose phased implementation, beginning with strengthened community policing units upgraded into full state structures over time, allowing gradual reform without destabilizing existing security frameworks. Ultimately, the debate reflects a central national question: whether Nigeria's current security architecture can continue to carry the burden of rising insecurity, or whether decentralized policing is now a necessary step toward more effective protection of lives and property. What remains clear is that any reform must be guided by strong accountability, professional standards, constitutional safeguards, and political neutrality to ensure that security institutions serve citizens and not power structures.
Every second, the world changes, markets rise, leaders speak, stories unfold. To keep up, you don't just need news. You need clarity. You need speed. You need perspective.
That's why Aneke TV brings you the global pulse. Accurate, reliable, right when it matters most. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
In the heart of southwestern Nigeria lies Osun State, a land where history, spirituality, and modern life converge. From ancient groves to growing cities, Osun tells a story deeply rooted in Yoruba civilization. Osun State, created in 1991, is home to Osogbo, its capital city, a fast-developing urban center surrounded by rolling hills, farmlands, and rivers that have sustained communities for generations. At the edge of Osogbo lies the Osun-Osogbo Sacred Grove, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the last remaining sacred forests in Yoruba culture. Dedicated to Osun, the goddess of fertility, the grove is both a spiritual sanctuary and a living museum of tradition. For centuries, Osun has remained a stronghold of Yoruba identity, where festivals, art, and spirituality are woven into everyday life. The annual Osun-Osogbo Festival draws thousands of pilgrims from across the world, celebrating faith, renewal, and cultural continuity. Beyond its sacred heritage, Osogbo is a growing city where tradition meets modern commerce. Markets bustle with traders, selling textiles, food, and crafts, reflecting the entrepreneurial spirits of its people. Osun State is also a center of education, home to institutions such as Obafemi Awolowo University in nearby Ile-Ife and Osun State University, shaping the next generation of leaders. Young people here represent a bridge between tradition and innovation. In Ile-Ife, mythology and history intertwine, believed to be the spiritual birthplace of the Yoruba people. It remains one of Africa's most culturally significant ancient cities. Bronze works and archaeological discoveries here continue to attract global attention. Agriculture remains the backbone of Osun's economy. Cocoa, yam, cassava, and maize farming sustain rural communities across the state. In recent years, small-scale industries and digital entrepreneurship have begun reshaping its economic landscape. Like many Nigerian states, Osun continues to balance development with tradition, investing in infrastructure, education, and healthcare to improve the lives of its people. From sacred groves to modern cities, Osun State remains a living testament to Nigeria's cultural depth and evolving future. A place where heritage is not only remembered, but lived.
Time, the silent witness to human courage, the keeper of memory, the archivist of greatness.
Across the vast landscapes of Africa, from the savannas to the bustling cities, voices once rose, ideas once burned, and visions once dared to challenge the limits of their age.
They were not merely individuals. They were epochs in human form.
In literature, minds such as Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka, and Ngugi wa Thiong'o reclaimed the African narrative.
Through ink and imagination, they dismantled distorted histories and restored the dignity of African identity. Their words were not just stories.
They were mirrors, reflecting a people long misunderstood, and windows opening the world to the depths of African civilization.
In the realm of science and knowledge, pioneers like Philip Emeagwali proved that African intellect could reshape the frontiers of computing and technology. Their work was a quiet revolution, reminding the world that innovation knows no geography.
And in leadership, towering figures emerged when history demanded courage. Men like Nnamdi Azikiwe, Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela, and Julius Nyerere redefined freedom, not as a privilege bestowed, but as a right reclaimed.
They spoke for millions. They endured prisons, exile, and resistance. Yet, their vision transcended the politics of their time.
They dreamed of a continent awakened. Today, their echoes travel through generations.
In every African classroom, in every curious mind, in every dream that refuses limitation. For history is not merely what has passed, it is the foundation upon which tomorrow stands.
The past still speaks. Its lessons remain. Its voices endure.
This is not just remembrance, it is inheritance. Echoes of the past, where history breathes and legacy lives on.
Sokoto State in northwestern Nigeria remains one of the country's most historically influential regions, serving as the epicenter of the Sokoto Caliphate, founded by Sheikh Usman Dan Fodio in 1804. More than 2 centuries later, its legacy continues to shape region, governance and political identity across northern Nigeria and beyond. At the heart of this continuity is the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abakar III, who remains a key spiritual authority for millions of Muslims. In one of his widely cited reflections on peace and coexistence, he has consistently urged Nigerians to embrace dialogue over division, stressing that no society can progress in an atmosphere of conflict and mistrust. His position has placed the Sultanate Council at the center of national conversations on unity and stability. The political relevance of Sokoto is also deeply rooted in its historical structures of authority. Traditional institutions continue to reflect civic engagement, especially during elections, where religious and community leaders often serve as trusted intermediaries. Analysts know that in Sokoto, legacy is not only derived from the ballot box, but also from inherited institutions of moral authority, reflecting the enduring fusion of tradition and modern democracy. In Nigeria's broader political history, Sokoto has consistently produced influential national figures, including former governor and minister Alhaji Tahiru Bafarawa and former governor Senator Aminu Tambuwal, both of whom have played prominent roles in shaping federal politics. Their political trajectories reflect how the state remains integrated into Nigeria's national power structure, while still anchored in traditional legacy. Socially, Sokoto remains a center of Islamic scholarship and education, home to institutions that continue to attract students across West Africa. The legacy of Sheikh Usman Dan Fodio is still referenced in academic and religious discourse as a foundation of intellectual reform and governance rooted in justice. As one Islamic scholar in the region once described it, Sokoto is not just a place, it is an idea of learning, leadership, and moral responsibility. However, the state also reflects the contradictions of modern Nigeria. Despite its historical prominence, Sokoto faces significant developmental challenges, including poverty, youth unemployment, and insecurity linked to wider instability in the Sahel region. Community leaders have repeatedly warned that the survival of our heritage depends on addressing the needs of the present generation, underscoring the urgency of reform alongside tradition. Security concerns in the Northwest have further tested both state and traditional institutions. Joint effort between government authorities and religious leaders have increasingly focused on peace building and community dialogue. Officials often emphasize that security is not only the responsibility of government, but a shared duty rooted in community trust. Despite these challenges, Sokoto's relevance in contemporary Nigeria remains unmistakable. It continues to function as a symbolic bridge between the pre-colonial caliphate system and the modern federal state, influencing debate on governance, religion, and national identity. as one political analyst summarized. To understand Nigeria's north, must first understand Sokoto not just as a state, but as a legacy that still speaks to power, faith, and identity in the present day.
Security is not just police on patrol. It is safety in homes, schools, markets, and mines. Without it, progress is impossible. Be alert, report danger, support community watch. True security is collective responsibility. Security is not just police on patrol. It is safety in homes, schools, markets, and mines. Without it, progress is impossible. Be alert, report danger, support community watch. True security is collective responsibility. "7 days, countless moments, stories that shape the week. From decisions in the corridors of power to developments affecting everyday lives. From moments of challenge to stories of resilience and progress. This is where the week comes into focus. Week in retrospect, only on Aneke TV. Time, the silent witness to human courage, the keeper of memory, the archivist of greatness.
Across the vast landscapes of Africa, from the savannas to the bustling cities, voices once rose, ideas once bound, and visions once dared to challenge the limits of their age.
They were not merely individuals. They were epochs in human form.
In literature, minds such as Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka, and Ngugi wa Thiong'o reclaimed the African narrative.
Through ink and imagination, they dismantled distorted histories and restored the dignity of African identity. Their words were not just stories.
They were mirrors, reflecting a people long misunderstood, and windows opening the world to the depths of African civilization.
In the realm of science and knowledge, pioneers like Philip Emeagwali proved that African intellect could reshape the frontiers of computing and technology. Their work was a quiet revolution, reminding the world that innovation knows no geography.
And in leadership, towering figures emerged when history demanded courage. Men like Nnamdi Azikiwe, Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela, and Julius Nyerere redefined freedom, not as a privilege bestowed, but as a right reclaimed.
They spoke for millions. They endured prisons, exile, and resistance. Yet, their vision transcended the politics of their time.
They dreamed of a continent awakened. Today, their echoes travel through generations.
In every African classroom, in every curious mind, in every dream that refuses limitation. For history is not merely what has passed, it is the foundation upon which tomorrow stands.
The past still speaks. its lessons remain, its voices endure.
This is not just remembrance, it is inheritance. Echoes of the past, where history breathes and legacy lives on. Time, the silent witness to human courage, the keeper of memory, the archivist of greatness.
Across the vast landscapes of Africa, from the savannas to the bustling cities, voices once rose, ideas once bound, and visions once dared to challenge the limits of their age.
They were not merely individuals, they were epochs in human form.
In literature, minds such as Chinua Achebe, Wole Soyinka, and Ngugi wa Thiong'o reclaimed the African narrative.
Through ink and imagination, they dismantled distorted histories and restored the dignity of African identity. Their words were not just stories.
They were mirrors, reflecting a people long misunderstood, and windows opening the world to the depths of African civilization.
In the realm of science and knowledge, pioneers like Philip Emeagwali proved that African intellect could reshape the frontiers of computing and technology. Their work was a quiet revolution, reminding the world that innovation knows no geography.
And in leadership, towering figures emerged when history demanded courage. Men like Nnamdi Azikiwe, Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela.
It's a beautiful morning, it's a good morning, and here is sunrise on Aneke TV, where every sunrise begins with brightness, delightfulness, and love, bringing you that daily dose of what we are doing today, which is what we are always doing on every edition of Sunrise. I am Good Hope Chukuma, coming to you live from our studio here in vibrant Enugu.
And I'm Uche Osai saying good morning. Remember, no matter how far the night or no matter how long the night, the daybreak is surely to come. And we're here to make sure that you don't just pass through this day. You own it. Therefore, we urge you to go grab that cup of coffee, relax, enjoy this ride, because the sunrise is set sail.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday, Mr. Uche.
Yeah.
You are looking, thank God it's Friday.
And you're looking Friday-ish as well.
I don't know where we're going after the show, because
wherever you want to take us, wherever you want to, no, we can't go anywhere now, but wherever you place the order, we'll be happy to receive it.
I really want you to start with the order, because you actually know how to lead the line.
I should place an order.
Yeah, you place the order.
So far as your credit cards are out, I know what to,
yeah.
the better the fact that it says the supper is not served a la carte. But we know how to place a la carte. So we know how to do the Chinese or the French dishes, whichever way. So there are very good places that can offer you good menus. So we know them.
Yeah. I mean,
so once I see the MasterCard or the whichever one you're using,
I will see what happens at the end of the day. Now let's go back to our quotes of the day, the inspiration segment on this edition of our Aneke TV Sunrise, where we have Lao Tzu inspiring us this morning. He said, "Care about what other people think and you will always be their prisoner." This quote is very, very intentional, I would say, because when you care about what other people are saying, other people's opinion, what they have said concerning you at some point, you know, when you're doing, there's this audio, or there's this particular thing that happens here on earth. Now, no matter whether you do good or bad, people must talk. So it is very important that you just keep doing that on the line where you are. You keep doing good, and even though people are talking, just keep doing your good. At the end of the day, it will show that you did your best. But if you don't do your best and people are talking, then still people must talk. But then you have to stay true to yourself, no matter the opinion people are bringing. And this is how we're motivating you this morning, so that you stay true to yourself today on this edition of Sunrise on Aneke TV.
Very well said. There's no better way to live your life but to live on your own terms. The more you get looking for seeking validation from people, the more you continue to live in self-imposed imprisonment, because people will want you captive. So when you give in, they take you, hostage. So for you to live this life and make meaning out of it, careless of people's opinion about you, as you spend your life in total captivity. So real freedom, starts the moment you stop seeking consensus or validation from people. You begin to get independence and get hold of your life.
Yeah, we take a short break. When we return, we bring you the weather updates. Do stay with us.
7 days, countless moments, stories that shape the week. From decisions in the corridors of power to developments affecting everyday lives. From moments of challenge to stories of resilience and progress. This is where the week comes into focus. Week in retrospect, only on Aneke TV.
Join us on Arena, Aneke TV's premium current affairs program, where politics, development and governance come live. Every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, we host top professionals and thought leaders who speak their minds on issues shaping Nigeria and the world. It's inclusive, enriching and absolutely captivating.
The roadmap is, let's have our environment secured so that investors can come.
If you don't know what economic security is, kidnapping will tell you what it is. You kidnapping ransom.
Customers are going to get these meters, and like we said, it's at no cost.
There are things that dialogue can handle. But when you leave it, and want to use a kinetic approach alone, you cannot.
For discussions that promise insight and deliver truth, stay tuned, stay informed, and keep watching Arena, only on Aneke TV.
You're still watching Sunrise here on Aneke TV. Next, we'll take a look at the weather report across major cities in the southeast today.
Welcome back, still on Sunrise here on Aneke TV. Now let's take a quick look at what's making the front page headline across major newspapers today from the Daily Sun, Daily Trust, Vanguard, The Guardian, and The Nation.
And joining us, as always, is Aneke TV's in-house analyst with deeper insights, far-reaching analysis on these news issues. Welcome, Res Arum. Mr. Res, a pleasure to have you on Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Let me ask my signature question, Mr. Res. I know you can't get tired of answering me. How is Nigeria treating you this morning?
Well, just like Nigeria has been treating me over the past few years, about 3 years, since about 3 years or more. It's just fair because there is life and there is hope.
All right. You just mentioned hope. Once there's life, there is hope.
Yes.
All right. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Now we'll take a look at the Daily Trust headline, Option Poll. APC campaign DG's nephew killed. Another shot. That's on the Daily Trust. On the Punch, governorship poll. Police lockdown Oshun. DIG, 30 CPs deployed. Now on the Guardian, we have Oshun 2026 will 1.9 million electorate win. On the Vanguard, as Oshun decides tomorrow, factors that will decide Adeleke, Oyebamiji, Salam, others' fates. On the Nation, inec, Oshun governorship election will be transparent. Now on the Daily Sun, we have ex-CDS, NHRC, Amnesty demand action against Father Hunsi and Jengere. Now let's go over to the Vanguard headline, which says Oshun election, factors that would decide Adeleke, Oyebamiji, Salam, others' fate tomorrow. Tomorrow's August 15th Oshun governorship election is a tight three-way race between Governor Ademola Adeleke of Accord, Bola Oyebamiji of APC and Najim Salam of ADC, with the 2.34 million voters in Oshun West expected to decide the outcome. The contest pits Adeleke's grassroots appeal and welfareism against Oyebamiji's federal backing and APC unity, while Salam could act as a spoiler as a key factors like youth vote, security, and economic hardship will determine who replaces Adeleke's 28,000 vote margin from 2022.
All right. Oshun before us, just on a countdown.
Yeah, tomorrow is the D-Day. The Oshun election will certainly take place and a governor will emerge. But the way it is, Adeleke won the former governor of APC with 28,000 votes. And today, or tomorrow, they are now trying to, some persons are beginning to look at the situation, the scenario, whether the situation as at last election is the same as today. And then who amongst the top contenders, because the contenders, about three of them, Adeleke himself, the incumbent, of course, Salam, Najib Salam, and Oyebamiji, Bola Oyebamiji, who is also the candidate of APC. Salam is of the ADC. So they're trying to lock horns and see how and who will upturn the Adeleke's overwhelming 28,000 votes during the last election. And now the die is cast. They have all gone all through the 30 states, 30 local governments of Oshun State, and campaigned and talked to the people and wooed them to vote for them, you know, their individual parties. And now, some analysts say Adeleke has a better position, given the fact that he's already tested. And having been tested, some speak that he has done well. Of course, a greater number says he has done well. Those of the opposition say they want to unseat him. They could do better. But sometimes it is said that a bird in hand is worth 2 million in the bush. So with Adeleke, who has been tested, who the Osun people have seen what results he can give, given the situation in Nigeria, may not, because it is said in my Igbo palace, Oye nor ebo no, ebo na noye anagoya. So when you are in a particular place where you are not, you'll be looking forward to that place you are not to get there. But you may not know whether that place will be promisingly good for you or not. So what one has to do when a situation like that comes is to think about how will this place be and what about the prospects here that I am. So it is upon the Osun people, the populace about 1.9 million people, that we eventually decide who takes the lead or who becomes the governor. Adeleke is there, he's having a rerun, Najim is there, he's doing it, and of course with the author's analysis in the newspaper, it says that Najim could play the role of a spoiler because he may not get the kind of vote that may trust him to become the winner of that election, but that he has a catchment on the youths. Now, the youths might play for him, but it might not be enough. And then the other one said that Adeleke is grassroots and has a welfarist ideology, which tends to play for him. Bola Ibabiji is being supported by the government at the center, the ruling government of APC. And it is going to be a Herculean task, even for the incumbent governor, because of the federal might. When you have a federal might coming against you, it's difficult if you'll be able to actually survive it. So, and then some of the governors, past governors of that state have declared support for the APC candidate. Some of them, and even the factional, we call him factional, leader of Accord Party, eventually, declared for Yepamiji. And although that has been dismissed by Accord Party as being inconsequential, that he has nothing to actually contribute, whether he's for Yepamiji or for even Adeleke, that is almost inconsequential. That is how they dismissed, the Accord Party dismissed the position of the former presidential, was it a former presidential running mate or something? Or presidential candidate. So, the die is actually cast, like I said earlier. The chances, if there is a free election, if there is a security-free election, where people are not intimidated, where people are left to vote, and of course, protect their votes, then like INEC claimed, INEC said it's going to be a free poll. When he said free, fair, and credible, that is what INEC said. We are looking forward to seeing such situation. Where security is something very, very important in the present circumstance. You have seen pre-election insecurity. Your elections have always been filled with tension, and that tension is not devoid in the present circumstance. We have seen a lot of people have been killed. About the NBA chairman said about 28 people has been killed. Another source also said about 35 persons have been killed following the months since the election process started. So, which means that is the all indication that there may be a lot of insecurity, but the police have stamped down their leg to say there must be security in that election. And you see, deploying about 15,000 men, and then deploying the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Assistant Inspector General, about 3 AIGs, deploying about 30 commissioners of police, and deploying well over, deputy commissioners and assistant commissioners, well over 50 of them, to, look after the security situation in Osun. It entirely means that they are all out to actually see that the election nobody is molested, and there will be no forages by the men that believe in crime. There will be no forages from them during the elections. And as a result, with all these people, beyond police, we have other sister security agencies who have been deployed. So our expectation is that the security of that election may actually work. The security of that election may actually work. Some people have been arrested by the Navy, and arrested by the Navy with some arms in a vehicle which they said, or they claimed, is painted APC. And one wonders if, these were not propagandas and all that. But the way it is, I think the security people have shown that they have come into Osun, and they have shown they have taken over the security of Osun. And tomorrow, our expectation is that the security people will take care of that election. And if they do so, then the election might come out okay, and the right candidate will eventually emerge.
All right. Now, we are looking at the factors that will determine the outcome of the polls in Osun tomorrow, and you've gone into deeper analysis of these issues. But I'm asking, let's start with the incumbency factor here. Don't you see that being a major factor in deciding this very election, and why would they be any different? Because we've always seen that being a huge player, but at least, if nothing more than at least 50%, in role in determining the outcome of subnational elections.
That is exactly why I started with ndlea being like a bird in hand, which is what 2 million people, which is a factor that has been tested, a factor that he has the incumbent governor. The factor that he has done things, and he has an ideology that is welfarist, which appeals to the greater percentage of the population. That is when you have a welfarist ideology, and which is a constitutional provision. So if he is actually conforming to the provisions of the Constitution to govern that state, there are chances. That is, but that will be when every place is secured and there's a free, people will come out en masse to vote. But if the security of lives and property is not done effectively in the course of that election, the chances are that the election may be taken over by hoodlums. And whenever it is taken over by criminals, they will now do the, of course, what they know to do best, that is rigging. So the issue of vote buying also is very, very important. It is a factor that may decide, how much money that comes to the table. Except the orientation of the people is to take money and vote for the right choice. That is the orientation that politicians are now giving to their supporters. People should not buy your vote. People should give you, if you want to take the money, eat it, and still maintain your choice in your voting based on your conscience. So this is a factor. The issue of vote buying is a factor. The issue of security is a factor. And of course, the issue of what you have for the people and your ability to convince them, to vote them, to make them believe in you is very important. That is why people go in deep to select those they call their campaign DGs, those who will be willing to sell their manifesto, those who will be willing to ensure that they penetrate the minds of the electorate. Because it's only when you penetrate and appeal to the electorate, what you have to offer appeals, that the electorate begins to think about this is the way to go, that we are going to vote for you. We are going to vote for Mr. A or Mr. B or Mr. C or Mr. Z. Is based on your ability to woo them to your side. So if you don't have the power, the oratory to convince the populace, to convince the electorate, then you may not. And if there is apathy too, apathy is one thing, because if in any of the candidates' catchment area there's apathy in that area, then the candidate loses a good number of votes, which may tell in the overall result of the election. So it is always important that catchment areas of various candidates, that they maintain that catchment areas, so that at the end of the day, you have all the best you ought to have, and then the best candidate will emerge.
All right, very well said. But let me ask this question. Given the position of Osun, we know that the election in Osun is always keenly contested. But there is another dimension to it, the APC factor. About the fact that the incumbent president is said to be originally from that side of the country. Would that be any factor? Will that be playing any role in deciding the outcome of this election?
Aneke won the election during the last poll, and the then governor was also related to the incumbent president. And he didn't change anything. It is not about the president. People want, they are all the same people. These are people from Osun. They know themselves. Here in Igbo land, they will always tell you that Anedo, Mawahamoro, which means that those from Newi, the Newi people do know their children wherever. They know how they behave. They know what they can do. They know their ills. They know their good part of life, side of life. So that is a situation that we play out. These people are Osun people. They know president, whether he's from Osun or he's a Lagosian, whichever way, because that is an issue that has not been properly put to the fore in Nigeria about where Mr. President actually comes from.
All right. Just before I'll let you go on this very issue, the other factor here I want to bring out, and I don't know how that will influence the outcome tomorrow, that's the ruling that mandated INEC to include the SDP candidate in this election. And then we've seen the Makinde factor. I'm asking if that will be a factor in this election, being that Makinde, has strongly declared for the presidency and APM. And then we are seeing the Areboshala factor as well. How would this state, knowing that the Osun state was a PDP, state in terms of the presidential voting in 2023, the PDP won Osun state. So how will all this put together influence the outcome tomorrow?
You see, Osun, for instance, the political parties in Osun, there's been a whole hullabaloo, about politicking in Osun. People have been moving from one party to the other. And now Areboshala is actually anchoring on, Turaki. Turaki is anchoring on
APM? Makinde?
It's IPM, but Makinde. Of course, Makinde himself is beginning to align himself with the presidency somehow, and thinks that all these people supporting the presidency, all of them are supporting APC, that it will go their way. Yes, it is a factor. It is that's why I said it is a Herculean, task for the incumbent governor of the state, Adeleke, to actually survive the onslaught of the APC that is backed by the federal might. The factor of federal might is not always an easy job. Any governor from any other political party that's facing a factor of federal might, more so when the president is linked to the state as his home state, it is serious. And more so when the persons that are running are connected and related to him. So all the forces he can muster to back up such candidates are now in use. But the president also is being careful to ensure, like a Democrat, that he does not do those things that are anti-democratic. And then that we have seen to a large extent. That's why he hurriedly asked the FCC boss to unfreeze the account of Osun immediately, even when you say there's fraud and all that. So that's a factor. But I still see Adeleke, that is my opinion now, I still see Adeleke coasting to victory. It may still be peculiar for him. He must have to work hard. He must have to put in everything that he can for him to coast to victory.
All right, I would have asked a different question now, but let me hold on to that as we continue to look into Osun from the Punch newspaper with the headline, Governor Poe, Police Lockdown Osun, DIG, 30 CPs deployed. Ahead of the August 15 Osun governorship election, the Nigeria Police Force has locked down the state with 15,000 personnel deployed across all 30 LGAs, led by a DIG, 3 AIGs and about 37 CPs. The IGP ordered 4 officers per polling unit across 3,000 plus polling units and warned that anyone arrested for electoral offences will be transferred to Abuja for prosecution to ensure a peaceful and credible poll. So, Mr. Rez, we're still in the conversation. Now we've seen the deployment of police into Osun State, and the stake continues.
You see, I think I chipped that
yes,
in
you did.
During my earlier discussion, that security is very paramount. Is a paramount factor that will determine the freeness, the fairness, and the credible, condition of that election. So when you talk about free, fair, and credible election, security is also a very of a paramount interest, and as such, deploying about 15,000 men, 1 DIG, 3 AIGs, 37 commissioners of police, and many others, deputy commissioners and assistant commissioners of police, to monitor over 3,000 units of the election polls, 3,000 polling units. It means that police is all out. It's an off-cycle election. You see, I still wonder if that could be done. There's no state that will have as much deployment in the general election in 2027. No state will. So, but now, Osun has all these police, plus other sister security agencies, including the FCC, for those who will be interested in vote buying. So that if they are caught, they will, including the civil defense, and so on and so forth. These are, and then you still have the military deployed. So when you have talk about security in Osun State, it's like a place that will be impregnable.
All right, sorry to cut you in there. That is why asking, don't you think that Osun State is being heavily militarized, and that may impact on the outcome of the election, as voters may be scared from coming out?
Yes, it depends on the way you convince them. If you convince the voters that they are free to come out, they are putting the security because of the skirmishes before the emergence or before the emergence of the security personnel into Osun, people will now, you remember that young people were holding machetes and going about everywhere trying to snatch the PVCs as they were being shared, and then, you know, making incursions on individuals and so on. And I told you that reports are that about 35 persons have been killed so far. So that actually resulted in the placement of a heavy security. I do not see it as being militarized. I see it as, you know, convincing the people that they are safe to come out and vote. But if there's any other thing at the background of that, at the back of that, that is if we begin to see the security persons now being biased and being one-sided, you know, trying to, you know, make the people get scared about coming out to vote, that is where we now begin to cry foul. But we have not seen any such thing. You see, some people have been caught, you know, wielding arms and in a bus. They have been caught and they are now being investigated and they are not free yet. You see, so if there have been these signs that these security people are not meant to witch hunt, they are not meant to intimidate anybody. That is the purpose. Because intimidation would have been a veritable tool for the for some of the candidates in that election. They would have used intimidation to intimidate, you know, political opponents. You know, especially when you talk about the catchment areas of some candidates. Those who have the might we use such might to intimidate people from coming out to vote for such candidate, and that now give them victory on the other side, and the other candidate will now lose. So, but now that you have a heavy security presence, which will make everybody, and of course the governor is already telling the people all to come out to vote. And I told you that the president, being a Democrat, would not want to have his name soiled in the present circumstance, more so when it is said that those who are running under APC are related to him. So you see, every pointer will begin to point, and then that will make the election worthwhile. Let us see what happens tomorrow. The election will be seen live in many places, and then people will be able to continue to analyze situations.
All right, just a very quick one. I'm asking your personal opinion this time around. Do you believe in honesty that the police will be civil in this very engagement?
No, there's no way that the police will completely be in any environment in Nigeria, because this is Nigeria, and the factors inherent in Nigeria will still prevail. These police people are not from the moon, they are not from heaven, they are no angels. Therefore, it is always there. The factor will always prevail. Certainly you will see some police people not doing what they are supposed to do. You will certainly see them, because some of them are even tied to the apron street, and now they are getting acclimatized. Some of these politicians may have also penetrated some of the police men and women, penetrated them and wooed them to you know, attach themselves to the such politicians with a view to some small sharp practices.
All right, Mr. Reyes, just before I let go and give Good Hope the space, I'm asking, we have 15 contenders in this election. We have over 2.3 million registered voters, with 1.9 million collecting their PVCs in 3,763 polling units, 332 wards, 30 local governments, and then the 15 candidates. And I'm asking you, just briefly, don't you see a rerun in this election?
I do not say a rerun, because it's age 15 and about 12 of the other candidates are what I may call pretenders.
Okay.
And because we had the contenders, and of course, how many of the other candidates have you heard the names, have seen their names on the pages of newspapers? How many? That is to say, they are mere pretenders. None of them can upstage anything, the unexpected.
So you're calling it a straight win for whoever would emerge?
Of course, it's going to be a straight win. And, it may not be a landslide, but it's going to be a straight win, a simple majority win.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how the police has stuffed up Osun currently because of the election. Like I always say, if there's anything that could go wrong in this election, is this a blueprint for January 2027 presidential election and 2027 general elections? So INEC is using this election to test run their preparedness. And while we're still looking at the election, we're also seeing that some of the materials needed for the election has been distributed to the polling units. And we saw it this morning, the under heavy security was moved from Central Bank Oshobo. Now, we are seeing how the state is gearing up towards the election, even though there are some rumors of violence that we have seen, like an accusations of violence we've seen from the two major parties trading accusation on each other. Now, what I want to really point out is that police themselves are getting ready. Now, from what Mr. Uche was asking, if that would not impede on the electorate being able to cast their vote because of the fear of seeing police everywhere. But I think there's a particular number of police men who are designated for each polling unit. About 4 of them are sent to a polling unit. So that means there would not be a crowdy, situation where police will be everywhere trying to, that would really make it fair enough for the election to be successful on the electorate side, and that will also bring calmness. The only problem, like we were talking about the other day, would be the use of arms. It could be a problem. It would not be a problem, like the handling of ammunition, that the police officers that are coming there may not have any ammunition
There
on
are
them.
defined arrangements to what the role of police at the polling units. And of course, already we are talking about that army is not designated for elections yet.
But they have been deployed in strategic places.
Yes, strategic place outside, and that is from where the Navy was able to arrest the people they arrested. Okay? Now, when you are talking about issues of police making people to be scared, then I want to now ask, well, if there are no members of security agencies, what do you think the situation will be like? We have seen the situation was worse. We have seen people killed. We have seen people taking arms on their own and doing what is not required. And then if you say you don't have police, then it means that somebody has compromised. Now that they have police, you are beginning to think about people getting...
the situation is that it's in Nigeria, so we must balance everything.
That's what I'm saying.
We must put some...
Why are people scared of security agencies? If we don't have security agencies, people are still more scared in Nigeria. So the situation should not even come in. If you have security agencies, you should thank your stars that they're there. Let us now see that the problem we have are the security agencies. Then Nigeria will now begin to look at, the government will look at themselves as having failed when you bring out your security agencies and do not do what you intend to do, or do not conform to the rules, orders that the society has mapped out for such jobs.
All right. On that note, we'll take a short break, and when we return, the conversation continues. Stay with us, please.
In every generation, there exists a defining force. A force shaped by curiosity, driven by ambition, fueled by possibility. Where ideas evolve into innovation, skills transform into enterprise, and vision becomes impact. Because empowerment is more than progress. It is transformation. The voices shaping tomorrow. The idea redefining possibilities. The generation building the future.
Morning headlines before you step out. Midday updates while you walk. Evening analysis when the day winds down. Wherever life takes you, Aneke TV keeps you informed, connected, and ahead. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Thanks for staying with us, and you're still watching The Sunrise, and the conversation continues.
Now we go over to the story and the news where 7 miners killed as pit collapses in Plateau community. 7 illegal miners were killed in Waduru community just south of government area, Plateau State, after a mining pit collapsed while they were digging, with 3 of the victims from the same family. The incident highlights the recurring danger of unregulated artisanal mining in Plateau, where police say the activity often goes unreported due to its illegal nature.
Yeah, you see, illegal mining has been very prominent in Nigeria. People go mine, dig the ground, bring out precious stones, gold, whatever the ground has to offer. And then even legal mining, where safety measures are put in place, safety precautions are taken, we still see mines collapse to kill many people in advanced mining sites world over. Then take a look at an illegal mining site that is not regulated by anybody. That is an illegal site where people come in to begin to do mining, and sometimes returns are not even given to government because there are illegal businesses that are going on. And then you find out no safety precautions, no safety measures were taken. People just go underground, underneath, dig the ground, go inside and begin to mine for stones, precious stones and metals and all that. And you see, it's collapsed.
Yeah.
And about 7 in number people were killed. And the report says about 3 of those killed
were from the same family.
The same family,
yeah.
Same father and mother. So, which means it is a disaster. But that goes to show you the state of the country, where people go out of their way to survive. Because you'll be wondering, why do people now engage in that? Because governments don't tend to regulate the activities of mining in Nigeria. If it is regulated, safety measures, safety precautions, safety kits, and very many other things that is required for the safety of the miners would have been taken into consideration. But from what happened, we do not think there is any form of safety measure, except that some very young men dig down and goes to look for all these special materials underground, buried by the earth, to then make life meaningful for themselves. Because they do not have jobs, because nobody is regulating anything, because nothing is actually happening to sustain them on their various homes. So that is exactly why it is so. So the implication is that somehow, even when those people tend to have involved in something that is criminal, but we see that criminality is induced, so much by idleness and hunger. Some of these criminalities are induced by idleness and hunger. So if the government had situations provided, educate those who are licensed miners, and then put the mining condition in a very good perspective, so that the miners will come, they will be well paid, and so on. So these disaster measures would have been taken care of, and possibly we may not have as much as 7 persons dying in a row.
Very well said. You rightly highlighted the issues, the failure of government to take charge of this mining situation, and this is not a one-off. Sometime earlier in the year, I lost a cousin of mine to similar incident. A young, budding, very lively young man was lost to similar situation, and it's quite unfortunate. So these are the reported cases. What about the unreported ones? Government really need to take charge in Nigeria about when it comes to mining, because there are a lot of illegal mining going on in Nigeria, and the catastrophe that such illegal mining is causing in Nigeria is quite untold.
Yeah, I will also contribute by saying that first of all, it's illegal mining, and then the loss of lives in this category. It's sad how it has not been regulated, especially on that same. Now, where I want to really point or pitch the tent should be on the loss of 3 siblings from the same family. You see, it's just more of what we could say a sad event that happened. Now, them two who went on that expedition may be trying to hide or go away from the government so that they can make ends meet by themselves, and it doesn't really, it's just not just from the place of government, it's also from the place of individuals to understand the gravity or the situation they are in, to take precautions, safety measures when they are doing or when they are engaging in such a thing. It's very important. That's what I would say. But then the loss of lives has to tell the story that this is really, really illegal, and government needs to come into it. Now we go over to the story of Brian Eze-Wayne, who won national math quiz after missing China Olympiad. As a Brian Chini, a 14-year-old SS1 student of White Cloud College in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State, won the Sterling Bank National Online Mathematics Quiz after placing first in both the elimination round and live finals. He secured a 500,000 cash prize just weeks after a visa denial stopped him from representing Nigeria at an international Olympiad. The victory has brought major academic acclaim to Ebonyi State and is seen as a strong comeback following the public disappointment over his missed international trip.
Mr. Harris, to create a proper perspective to bring you into this conversation, we're talking about the missed opportunity to represent Nigeria internationally, and the result is because he couldn't afford the cost, and quite unfortunately, we were told they went to the Ministry of Education in Ebonyi State, the Commissioner of Education in Ebonyi State, tried to reach out to the government of Ebonyi State, and no positive response was gotten in that regard, and he lost that opportunity to travel. Then, about that, he wasn't deterred, and he still won, a math quiz competition after that. So let me bring you into this conversation, giving opportunities that are available for Nigerians and the lack of, sponsorship, especially when it comes from government quarters.
See, it is very clear the way you made the presentation now, that the government showed some level of insensitivity. Maybe the government was thinking that he may not give them effective representation, that money invested on him may be a waste and all that. Because I do not see why they should not have sponsored him to go overseas to represent Nigeria. Representing Nigeria. It is not even supposed to be just a state government thing. It should have been a national thing. The government of the state will push him to the national should be able to earmark some money. Even if the national do not do it immediately, the state government will be able, how much is it to take some money to? Is it the kind of money they use in moving about, even inside Nigeria, chartering planes and going up and down, going to Abuja, flying in and out of Abuja, Lagos and everything? Is it what kind of money does Brian, need to go to China for that thing? and that could not be raised. So what protocols, what were the protocols that actually, made the guy not to go to represent Nigeria? The protocol should have been nipped in the bud, except that, bureaucracy in government has made people to lose so many things, accolades. And look at him now. He has brought in another accolade, even while at home, he still won another prize, which shows that this young man is actually gifted, blessed by God, to do wonders. And when you talk about mathematics, there is no technological advancement in a country where you do not have brilliant mathematicians. And if you have such mathematicians, maybe tomorrow, a lot of things will begin to happen from Ebonyi State.
All right, we'll take a short break. When we return, we'll bring you more updates. Stay with us. Law is the architecture of civilization, the silent force that orders society and defines justice. Yet, within its complexity, many remain uncertain of their rights, their obligations, and the protections the law affords. From the inviolability of human rights to the intricate doctrines governing property and civil relations. This is a platform where law is demystified, where principle meets practice and knowledge becomes empowerment. Because justice is not abstract, it is personal. You and the law on Aneke TV.
In a world that never stands still, where stories break in seconds and moments shape history, one station keeps you connected to your nation, to the continent, to the world.
From breaking news to powerful stories, from business and politics to culture, lifestyle and entertainment, we inform, we inspire, we keep you ahead.
This is more than television. This is your window to everywhere that matters.
Aneke TV. Move with the world. Frontline Africa is Aneke TV's flagship current affairs program, where critical national and continental issues take center stage.
On Frontline Africa, we examine politics, the economy, security, business, health, and a wide range of other key sectors shaping society.
The program is insightful, engaging, and interactive, providing a platform for informed analysis and meaningful public discourse.
Here, issues are discussed raw, balanced, and expertly with depth, clarity, and a commitment to fact and accountability.
Join us every Saturday at 5 in the evening, only on Aneke TV.
Welcome back. Still on that story of Brian Eze Chini, who actually won the Sterling Back National Online Mathematics Quiz. This is what we're seeing in Nigeria, and Misuchi has more to bring us into that.
Looking at this issue, I think Mr. S capped it very well. He gave the deeper analysis that's required on this very story. You know, we live in plenty, yet we swim in squalor. When this story broke, I was touched by one thing, and that has come to play out. The fact that, despite the fact that he has won a national maths quiz competition, Ebonyi State was given accolade. It stated, Eze Brian Chini, a 14-year-old SS1 student in Abakaleke, Ebonyi State. So, when there are opportunity for our leaders to enrich the life of people, they don't take that advantage. And at the end of the day, like Mr. Rest, like you rightfully pointed out, he would, bring limelight. The accolades would go to the state government and the state entirely, and yet they missed the opportunity. This is just one story, telling you about many more that are unreported. It's quite unfortunate, but thank God that this young man has continued to show that he is a star that needs support to continue to shine. And I suppose that he will not be deterred by the lack of attention or commitment of our leaders, especially the government of his home state, and he will continue to shine. So we will continue to celebrate this, while we pray that some other people like him will get the needed support to continue to thrive.
And that's a wrap on today's newspaper review. As always, you can grab your physical copy of your favorite newspaper or catch the full details online. Next is Sports Update.
And joining us for the Sports Update is Weno, known as Worldwide. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Good morning, Mr. Rex.
So what's happening? Let's start from the world of football. I know when I talk sports now, it's so encompassing. So bring us into the world of football straight on.
Well, in the world of football, let's just go to the world of transfer, where we are having, some clubs that are not yet making the moves that we are expecting. Clubs like Manchester United have made some signings. Clubs like Chelsea, we have seen them, get a number of players this time around. Real Madrid, we have seen a lot of buying, more than 5 players have come into Real Madrid. But our particular concerns, because people ask me why are these people not making the transfers that they are supposed to make, and particular about 2 clubs, Liverpool Football Club and Arsenal. These 2 clubs are yet to make some signs. Despite, for me, Arsenal are even more better in terms of the players they have, because they have the squad already, they have the depth. But I'm particular about a particular club, Liverpool, who are yet to give us the replacements that we want. Because I'm speaking on behalf of Liverpool fans right now, who have called me that
just call my name when you
have not yet made that.
Say you're speaking to me.
No, I'm speaking on behalf of Liverpool.
I think we're well represented here. Yes. There's Arsenal, there's Man U. I can speak for Liverpool.
So the question now is, what is going to happen? We have barely 2 weeks to the deadline. September 1st, the transfer windows will be closed. Now, Bradley, who has been on the radar for Liverpool, is not yet a Liverpool player as at this moment. And Mohamed Salah, of course, has gone. There's no replacement there. So Konate also has gone. So what is going to be the fate for Liverpool right now if they enter into the Premier League with this squad?
All right, you're taking the transfer markets, in isolation of the fact that there's been a transfer market prior to this one, yes. And you understand that Liverpool, we are in the market last transfer market where they made a lot of purchases. Yes. There were a lot of people that came into the club, yes. So they knew that Mo Salah was leaving. It's not as if it was a surprise to them. They have a lot of young talents that would fill in, and they are still in the market. The transfer market is not over yet. Yes. They've made some attempts. And when Liverpool go for a player, they go for prized assets that will fill in specific roles in the team. Okay. And there are a lot of talents equally in the team already that would, Liverpool is a team that equally from the academy they're able to bring in players. Unlike some clubs like Arsenal, that in this season you can't tell me that they've even made any significant signing. They go for big names that they wouldn't want to sign. So you can't compare a club like Liverpool that has been in the market, spent more than any other club in last season transfer. So we don't want them to spend that kind of money this season. Is a club that is quite forward thinking in their approach to football, and over time they've approached equally developmental sports in terms of homegrown players, and then the young players, giving them opportunity to thrive. We can speak to a player like yes, that is equally that you will see feature very prominently this season. So there's a lot of plans in that regard. So one shouldn't be afraid about Mo Salah leaving.
The loophole that Salah has created.
When you talk about loophole, go back to last season. Was Mo Salah really there? That's the point.
Yeah, it was not effective.
So it was not as effective, and the plan wasn't to replace him in the market. Because if the plan was to replace him in the market, you have seen that in the previous transfer. What should be concerned is the absence, the manner which the previous coach had to leave and the new coach was brought in, that would worry many fans of Liverpool and football lovers. But I can tell you one thing, that Liverpool always rises from the ashes in situations like this. They emerge from similar situations and they carry the league.
I see Mr. Rez wants to come in.
Wants to really, bring in something very interesting.
See, there is something Mr. Uche has turned to the image maker of Liverpool club, because he, apart from doing the actual correct analysis about replacement of Salah and what you asked, he kept on, started telling us about what Liverpool can offer, what they can do, and how they have
been doing it so far.
Well, that's a good one. You're an image maker of Liverpool. But in the present, and he has left even Liverpool to begin to talk about a team that does not want to do anything. Let me tell you, do you change a winning team?
No.
Beautiful. Arsenal has the team. Last season, Arsenal went to market and spent a whole lot of money. You are aware?
Yeah, that's true.
And we got players that are good, and they distinguish themselves. What we actually need is either one or two.
Yes.
And the transfer window has not already ended.
Yes, and about
so you cannot completely say they do not want to do anything. You cannot don't come in, because
I disagree with you, Mr. Rez. I disagree with you. When you say they don't, you strengthen a winning team.
Excuse me.
What you do to a winning team is you strengthen it. You strengthen a winning team. You strengthen a winning team. You strengthen a winning team. Liverpool came from lifting the league to going massively in the transfer market to make changes in the market.
The transfer market, the transfer
even
window
the
has
changes Liverpool made, it has not even.
So there are chances.
You can't judge from pre-season.
It's not
pre-season. You can't judge from pre-season. Liverpool was undergoing reformation. It was a preparatory year for this year. Why would that club decide? Why would Manchester United change more than 4 coaches in how many years? More than 7 coaches in how many years are you talking?
Because
Mourinho was there. After Mourinho, how many other coaches? No, he's talking about sacking a coach.
No, we're talking about someone who had to.
No, you're talking about sacking a coach.
Someone who lifted a trophy.
That tells you that Liverpool is not complacent. Even if you bring the trophy, you have to be up. And we're not Arsenal. You can't be chasing a trophy in Liverpool for many years.
No, you don't.
We're not Arsenal.
You cannot finish saying without talking Arsenal.
No, I'm just citing an example. Unfortunately, I'm citing an example. I'm citing an example. No, I'm citing an example. For how many years Arsenal kept coming second? For 5 seasons. For 5 seasons, Arsenal have been coming second.
For Vinicius, you remember?
Yes.
We couldn't.
Do we mention the number of players you've gone for in the world?
They are currently going for Osimhen right now.
Until you come for Rangers. Until Arsenal comes to Rangers, you know that's a waste of time. That's a waste of time. That's their stock in trade. That's their stock in trade. That's their stock in trade. Until you go for until you come for a Rangers player or a member player.
No, I would not want that. Trading 2 players was.
You see the excuse. Arsenal can't go for a world-class player. They will only go for either homegrown players or come to Enyimba or Rangers where you get discounts.
Not possess world-class players, or they have not had work. What are you talking?
It's about success. The bottom line is about success. It's about success. It's about success.
The Arsenal players had the greatest number of players that played in the World Cup in English League. So when you talk, you don't talk.
It's about football. Is about success. Football is about success. Football is about success. It's not about the nations that went to World Cup. It's about what Arsenal has been able to achieve. It's what Arsenal has been able to achieve. It's what Arsenal has been able to achieve over the years.
These are the current Premier League holders.
After how many years?
Well, they have been consistent.
Consistent in failure.
They have been
consistent losers. After how many attempts? How many Champions League have Liverpool lifted in that time?
Excuse me.
No, how many Champions League have Liverpool lifted in that time?
Older than Arsenal, about 100 years. They have not even tested any trophy. And they're still surviving.
Do you see the comparison? Why are you making such comparison? Why are you making such comparison? Compare Arsenal with Bolton. Compare Arsenal with Bolton Wanderers. Compare Arsenal with
doing well. because it is about casting aspersion.
No, Arsenal, of course, Arsenal is
because
you don't say currently. Last season they did well.
Last season, yes, they did well.
Put it in isolation. Last season they did well. Would they be there? Would they be anywhere? Last season you did well.
And they don't forget that they were in the Champions League final.
Being in champion, how many times did they come second in Premier League?
Well,
it's not about coming second. It's not about coming short. No, it's about lifting trophies. It's about lifting the trophy that matters. In football, when they talk about who lifted the last World Cup, you won't hear about the runners up.
It's all heated down here on the studio, and this is where we are calling it a day on this edition of Sunrise on Aneke TV. Thank you very much, Wenu, for that hot update that you have shifted to us this time.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much for watching. Until we see you same time, same station on Monday, I am Good Hope Chukuma.
Mr. Res Arum, thank you for that in-depth, incisive analysis, and of course, the part that concerns Arsenal. It's always a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, and God bless you. For you, viewer, watch us on Aneke TV always. We'll give you the best.
Worldwide himself, Wenu. Thank you for the sports update.
Thank you very much.
And I'm Uche Osai saying thank you for watching, and keep watching till we come your way same time on Monday. Bye-bye.
I just told you that I'm about it. I might take offense if you tell me that you doubt it. It's just what it is, yeah, I'm known to make it rowdy. Then I'm for the fit, and I drive a wide body. Who you know, but like this, nobody. Can't go slow, I gotta hit that body. I'm the top, but the top, I can't never take a break. Yeah, I'm hot, and you not, that's why all my records bang. Oh, it's been a long, long road, gotta go home. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, and I know you love the way that I'm gon' keep going. Yeah, 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 can't do flexing, cause they know I got the sauce. Got the presents on me, I can't ever take it off. That's why I came, country boy stepping. Yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Yeah, they can't get like me, rocking boots and white tee. Designer on my cuff, link something like a movie. Country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Yeah, why they mad at a man like me? I went too crazy. Better take that knee and kiss my ring, cause I be royalty. Everywhere I go, my scene, and they be hating. That's such a lame thing. Yeah, y'all be lame things. I could never ever go outside like that. Yeah, my people got my back, and I know that that's a fact. So I won't worry about a thing. I'm gonna keep on burning track. Do you get what I mean? I got faith in my dream. Oh, it's been a long, hard road. Gotta go home. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, and I know you love the way that I'm gon' keep on. Yeah, 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 can't do flexing, cause they know I got the sauce. Got the presents on me, I can't ever take it off. That's why I came, country boy stepping. Yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Yeah, they can't get like me, rocking boots and white tee. Designer on my cuff, ain't something like a movie. Country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping. Country boy stepping, yeah, I'm country boy stepping.
sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire. Golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll get to the other side. Sinking in, I know this feels right. Catching a breeze, love moving through me like a wildfire, like a wildfire.
As Nigerian students prepare for life after graduation, while celebrating the Students' Week, the choice between securing a paid job and venturing into entrepreneurship remains a growing conversation. So what do students think young Nigerians should prioritize? We took to the school community to find out.
Well, both of them comes with great advantage and disadvantage, but definitely would always pick entrepreneurship. That's owning your own business, right? Yes. Most persons would actually want to go for, employment. They don't have to stress their head in being innovative, being eventful. That's when it comes to being an entrepreneur. These are the criteria for you to be an entrepreneur. But you just be an employer or something, you just don't need something much. Just do your thing and get paid. Me, entrepreneur, that's me. Because I get to decide my own time, my capital, everything. See, everything just falls on me. Like, I know that, yes, I solely depend on myself, and I don't have to depend on anybody to do it.
For me, I already know that I am going to be employed after school, but I have a skill as well. Like, I do my own business, and I would advise anybody to also be self-employed. I prefer entrepreneurship, though you can as well grab the opportunity if you are being employed or elsewhere, but for you to survive in this Nigeria's economy of the country I don't expect you to just be waiting for employment. Yes, because it's a self-owned opportunity or job that you can do on your own, get your money and know how you go about it, not about waiting for salaries and all that. And to the way the country is now, before you get a nice job that will be well paid, that can sustain you, it's very difficult, and probably it's through connection, and most people don't have that connection.
For these students, the choice between employment and entrepreneurship reflects different aspirations, priorities, and expectations for the future. While some value the stability of a paid job, others are drawn to the independence and opportunities that come with building their own businesses.
I think entrepreneurship is actually
the moving train. Let me put it like that, the moving train. Because when you wait for employment, people that are even before us, that's graduated before us, I don't think they even have space for employment in this country, and especially in this our country here, where you know that you know somebody to know somebody before you can get a good employment. It's not the most employment that exists now. It's just all this restaurants, sales girl, secretary. But for our own level of education, I think entrepreneurship is the best, because that's the more moving thing now in our country. Even with entrepreneurship, education is still a very high demand. It's still very good. Even when you want to start entrepreneurship, it's good to be educated. When you're educated, it even makes the business you're starting to be more understandable, more explainable, more productive. Let me put it, more productive. Yes.
Actually, for me, I already have what I'm doing. I'm a content creator, and kind of doing a bit well, yeah. So for me, life after school is not going to be an issue for me. As far as I keep grinding and doing what I'm doing, I think life after school is not going to be any problem for me. And about employment, I'm not going to bother about who should employ me. I'm the one that's supposed to employ somebody else to even work for me. The advice I'll give to undergraduates is that they should venture into content creating. School is important, very important, but in our country, school cannot lead you to anywhere. Instead, after you graduate, you will find work highest 100,000, like 70,000. If you check how much do you like spend, your house rent, your daily feeding, emergency money, all this kind of thing, like all those work, it cannot like help you. So my advice to them is they should like venture into content. It actually pays. It might not be like paying you that big, but at least you'll be seeing the money that you'll be using to be eat every day.
I will face more on entrepreneurship, because I believe that I have this talent that I need to explore more, so I'll go for entrepreneurship. It's a best choice, because one, you don't have to go and be looking for jobs. One, you have to be your boss of your own self. Guys, do everything on your own. Just be free from all commands. You have to have talent to become an entrepreneur. That is the main thing of becoming an entrepreneur.
The responses show that while some students favor the stability of employment, others see entrepreneurship as a pathway to independence and job creation. Ultimately, the choice may depend on individual goals, skills, and opportunities. Reporting for Aneke TV, I am Sharon Ochi.
Every second, the world changes, markets rise, leaders speak, stories unfold. To keep up, you don't just need news, you need clarity. You need speed. You need perspective.
That's why Aneke TV brings you the global pulse. Accurate, reliable, right when it matters most. Aneke TV. Move with the world.